LSUNIL.br.com and give us a call today to get started.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Week 15 getting going tonight. Thursday night football. The Buccaneers and the Falcons. Tampa trying to keep pace atop the NFC South. Wide receiver Mike Evans expected to make his return from the broken collarbone that he suffered in Week 7. Big boost for the Bucs. Meanwhile, the Steelers on top of the AFC North, monitoring the status of star edge rusher T.J. Watt. He's in a local hospital for further lung evaluation after experiencing discomfort at the facility yesterday. Injury occurred during treatment. The Steelers lead the AFC North by a game. Elsewhere, the Chiefs have their backs against the wall heading into this weekend's game against the Charger. KC needs to win out and get help. ESPN's Rich Eisen thinks they'll have trouble helping themselves.
And the crazy thing is, when you read all of that in one fell swoop, the question is which is the toughest to expect? And the crazy thing is, when you say this about the Chiefs, it's the winning out.
Yeah. Eisen on unsportsmanlike in baseball. The Braves are signing former Padres closer Robert Suarez.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you the one team that has the most pressure on them this weekend if they want to make the playoffs. It's unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We are not in the Raising Cane studio today. We are at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's office for a very special day. It is the Get Gordon Bicycle Giveaway. Gordon's giving away 600 bicycles to less fortunate children all over the state of Louisiana. We're thrilled to be here for that today. If you're actually driving down I-10, passing college with the giant inflatables and all the flags, like I'm looking right at you on the interstate. You and that big giant white 18-wheeler, I'm looking at you right now. So thanks for hanging out with us here on today's show. We got a ton to do today. ESPN's Louis Riddick in 15 minutes. Gordon is with us 1 hour from right now, talking Lane Kiffin, NIL, all that. Houston head coach Willie Fritz, top of hour 3. Mike Triplett will be here. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
While we were on air on Wednesday, the news broke about Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore being fired for cause. We have since gotten further information as the University of Michigan has effectively announced via statement that they fired Moore for cause due to an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. We also know that on Wednesday evening, Sherrone Moore was arrested and detained. There have been a lot of internet rumors running rampant. I'm not here to rumor monger until something is credibly reported. I'm not going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about the story, but not the particulars about the why he was arrested or anything further that's been rumored to be out there. When we have things firm from credible sources, we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, this is obviously a critically important story because the tidal wave of this news story that emanates from Ann Arbor, Michigan, the ripple effects are in fact going to touch Baton Rouge, or could touch Baton Rouge. So we have got to talk about this, because there are reports that Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer could be at the top of Michigan's list. Brian Kelly is reportedly on Michigan's list. Lane Kiffin, could the ripple affect the LSU coach? And then, of course, there is the Bryce Underwood conversation. So I want to kind of touch on all of this. Let us start with what is most immediate and pressing as it pertains to all of us here, which is the Lane Kiffin piece of this, okay? First of all, there was one very prominent Michigan booster, Barstool's Dave Portnoy, who did in fact tweet on Wednesday night, let's go get Lane Kiffin. Whatever LSU's paying him, let's double it. Let's go get Lane Kiffin. Well, Lane Kiffin never one to shy away from Twitter engagement and trolling, which is actually hilarious. It was hilarious before he ever became the LSU coach. Lane Kiffin went and quote tweeted Dave Portnoy and effectively said, hey, instead of me going to Michigan, why don't you hashtag come to the boot, which I love that so much. He said, together we can't be beat. So I don't think that Lane Kiffin would be a realistic option for Michigan. One of the other things that I heard throughout the entire process with Lane Kiffin being courted by LSU is that he hates the cold. So one of the thoughts that he might end up at Penn State was sort of laughable, because he prefers water and boats in warm weather and would never live in the Midwest or where it's cold. So I don't think that that's realistic. Kalen DeBoer is interesting because Kalen DeBoer actually does make sense. And all of the sports books that have put out odds, Bovada, Bet Online, all of them have Kalen DeBoer as the betting favorite to be the next Michigan coach. For what it's worth, Josh Pate was on Get Up on ESPN. Love Josh, great dude. He agreed that, yeah, like DeBoer needs to be at the top of the list.
I would make Kalen DeBoer tell me no, and I would make him tell me no because he comes from my part of the country. I think he understands the gravity of the kind of job that Michigan is, because he understands the kind of gravity of the job that Alabama is. Now, what you don't know that is widely speculated in the market is, will he even listen to me? But I'm Michigan, so I've got that block M on my chest. So I've got the audacity to think anyone would listen to me, and that would be the first one. And then I would work my way down the list from there.
Okay, so Matt sitting in Baton Rouge can say it. It'll only hold so much weight. But sports books put Kalen DeBoer at the top of their list. For example, Bovada today has DeBoer plus 160. Next is Jed Fish at plus 350. Bet Online actually has more one-sided odds that we shared with you a day ago, like while we were still on the air. DeBoer at Bet Online is a 4-1. Jesse Minter was next at 5-1. So forgive me, that's plus 400. Jesse Minter plus 500. So actually the Bovada odds today, a day later, are even more in favor of DeBoer. I know there's naturally going to be the people that ask, well, if DeBoer leaves Alabama for Michigan, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but we can have this conversation and play the what-if game. But if DeBoer were to leave Alabama for Michigan, Alabama came open, would Alabama go pursue Lane Kiffin? Maybe. But I would also point out a couple of things. Number one, Alabama did not pursue Lane Kiffin 2 years ago when they hired Kalen DeBoer, when they could have hired him away from Ole Miss and didn't. Lane Kiffin does have a contract at LSU, whereby, as I looked it up last night, he's got a $7 million buyout if he were to leave. Now, that would be certainly a pittance and worth paying if that's the coach you wanted to get. I just find it very hard to believe that Lane Kiffin would leave LSU after a month. I mean, maybe. He's Lane Kiffin. I mean, he'll leave his team in the middle of a playoff run. I mean, he got fired. He's the same guy. Got fired on the tarmac. He's the guy who had it out with Al Davis back with the Raiders, left Tennessee in the middle of the night after 1 year. I mean, maybe. It's the game you play with Lane Kiffin if you're dancing in if you're swimming in those waters. I don't think it's plausible, but is it possible? I guess, sure. Maybe the more interesting possibility here, anyway, is the Brian Kelly component of it. And by the way, Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio here Thursday morning effectively lobbied for Brian Kelly to be Michigan's choice.
Brian Kelly. This is somebody that from a cultural standpoint fits the geographical footprint that Michigan is in. Brian Kelly still knows how to coach teams. Brian Kelly still knows how to coach quarterbacks. Last time I checked, you got an uber-talented kid that you invested a hell of a lot of NIL money in Bryce Underwood. And you got to make sure that you retain him. You got to make sure that you make him happy. Now, it would be a tough sell to the Michigan fans, but in terms of somebody that understands how to run a big-time program that's not going to wilt under the pressure, to me, it just seems like a hire based on the timeline that makes a ton of sense.
It does make sense. Brian Kelly's available, first and foremost. It's not going to cost you anything to buy him out of his contract, or you're not going to have to wait through a playoff. He is 64 years old. Is that something that Michigan's interested in? I don't know. Could it be a short-term bridge to a long-term option? Maybe. Would Brian Kelly be interested? Absolutely. He coached, obviously, at Grand Valley. He coached at Central Michigan. As I understand from covering Brian Kelly for 4 years, he has great respect and reverence for Michigan and the winged helmet and all that stuff from all the time he spent in the state of Michigan. So I have no doubt that if Brian Kelly wants to coach again and Michigan were interested, he would be interested in them. The question is Michigan interested in Brian Kelly? And I don't know the answer to that question. And then there's the Bryce Underwood component, which you just heard Chris Canty mention. And that is fascinating because Underwood in this era certainly could leave. And I know there's the perception of the $12 million NIL, which, I mean, look, I was the one that reported that minutes after Bryce Underwood flipped. And nobody has argued against that number because it's the right number. But I was also explained a year ago that the way that was structured was not $12 million up front, it was $3 million per year. So if Bryce Underwood were to leave after 1 year, it's not like he would owe Michigan $9 million for not finishing out his contract. But the bottom line is, if Bryce Underwood wanted to hit the transfer portal, there's no more attractive place in college football this year for a quarterback than LSU. There's no incumbent. You have a treasure chest of NIL and brand deal money to spend. You have a plethora of athletes around, and you'll be coached by Lane Kiffin, who has maximized Trinidad Chambliss, turned Jackson Dart into a first-rounder, made Matt Corral an all-conference caliber quarterback. Like, everywhere he goes, quarterbacks produce and offense follows. So there would be a very, very strong case to be made for Bryce Underwood to pick LSU if, in fact, he did hit the transfer portal. So we'll keep an eye on all of those things because the Michigan story, as such a gigantic brand in this sport, what happens at Michigan will have ripple effects that touch everything. And as this second wave of the coaching carousel spins, yes, what happens at Michigan will be critically important to the future, or could be critically important to the future at LSU. So we will absolutely follow it here. Okay, it's After Further Review. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing all over the state of Louisiana. DecisionCriticalBR.com. We're at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys for Gordon's bicycle giveaway. Thrilled to be here. G is going to sit with us in about 45 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a quick break. Louis Riddick is here next. He was one of the earliest and loudest champions of Tyler Shuck, and my goodness, does he look good right now. We'll talk to Louis Riddick next on AFR.
AFR.
REV. Let'sRev.com. 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 Get to the website to learn more about Rev. If it's internet, cable, home automation, security, they do all of it. They do it better than anyone. And at Rev, they are local. 90 years in our local market. REV. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com. And when you call Rev, you're never getting ushered off to some call center in another country. With Rev, you're dealing with local people right here in the greater Baton Rouge area. So you want lightning fast internet speeds up to 5 gigs, backed by an all-fiber network and local support for 9 decades? You want Rev. I'm a Rev customer. Parish Construction and Roofing, Rev customers. Guarantee Media, Rev customers. You need to switch as well. So get in touch today at Let'sRev.com. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wildin'.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Shaugh, Fagan and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Shaugh Fagan of Locke Meredith, Shaugh, Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
First and 10 at the 35. Shuck keeps it left side. Inside the 30. Shuck, 20. Shuck, 10. Tyler Shuck, touchdown for Tyler Shuck, running the football all the way from 34 yards out.
I think we knew Tyler Shuck could sling it. Not sure I knew he had the wheels, the escapability. Just didn't spend a lot of time talking about that in the pre-draft process. Tyler Shuck maybe didn't have any louder champion leading up to and after the draft than Louis Riddick from ESPN, who's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here because, boy, is he looking to be really smart on this one. Hey, Louis, we appreciate the time, and how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. If the Saints have a franchise quarterback. All right, what did you see? Remind us all, what did you see pre-draft in Tyler Shuck that maybe many overlooked?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the things that I saw but didn't make a big, gigantic, dramatic story out of, which is, look, I understand Tyler is 25-plus years old. I understand that he had an injury history in a long 6-year career in college. But I knew, the story behind the injuries and how they happened and how sometimes that's just a part of football, that he's not someone who is necessarily injury prone relative to how he was used when he was in college, when he was at the Fox previous to Louisville. And number two, his age really doesn't mean anything in a day and age where we got guys coming out of retirement who are 45 years old, okay?
No.
It's not like we haven't seen quarterbacks playing into their mid to late 30s anyway. So let's just say at the very most, if you got a decade out of Tyler Shuck, wouldn't that be something that someone would want if you did a decade's worth of franchise caliber quarterback play? That being said, so those were two things that people were just They just took that low-hanging fruit and were like, this guy can't be worth a damn. Why the hell would you draft this guy? I mean, look how long he played in college, and look how old he is. And look at his injury history. Number two, when he went to the combine, do you remember the one throw that everyone kept running on a loop as far as him trying to do kind of like a different arm angle slot type of throw, like a no-look pass at the combine? I knew he was going to do that. He wanted to show people that he had a different type of skill set, a very unique type of skill set, but he also realized that wasn't a real smart thing to do in that setting. So he didn't do it anymore, and he wound up having a great workout. Now, once I got past all that crap, which everyone wanted to hang on, I went down to Louisville twice last year. I saw him play twice in 2024. Jeff Brom is a good friend of mine. His brother, Brian Brom, coaches it down there. I talked to Tyler twice. I watched him play against SMU. I studied his tape against Miami. I called their game against Clemson when he went into Death Valley and beat them last year. The kid has got size. He's got speed. He's got good feet. He's got a great arm. He's got a huge capacity from a football intellect standpoint. He played a pro-style offense. He can make every single throw. He can run 4.64 in the 40. He's a family guy. He's very dependable, very trustworthy. I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot not to like about him. And then when you threw him the tape, I mean, it was all there. The one thing that you wanted to see with Tyler once he got to the pros, and as he continued to grow, was you wanted to see poise under pressure, poise under duress. Nice, calm mind, calm body, calm feet in the pocket when people were really bearing down on him. Because he showed it in spurts. It needed to be more consistent when he was at Louisville. You're seeing that now. You're seeing Kellen has tapped into that to the point where, obviously, well, let's just say this. The kid is locked into the offense pretty damn good at this point, to the point where you don't see any of that nervousness in the pocket. You don't see any of that, holding on to the football too long. The ball is out. He's decisive where he wants to go, and he can run, as we saw against Tampa. Now, I know that's a long-ass answer right there, but I'll tell you what. And people looked at that stuff instead of going, wait a minute, look how old he is and look how many times he's been hurt. We don't want him. Well, maybe then now you would have been going, well, I think I can see why this kid's playing pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And that's why the Saints, look, there's a long way to go for him. But the Saints are looking pretty damn smart, in particular Kellen Moore.
Hey, Lewis, by the way, talk radio is great because you can have long-ass answers, and that's why we have you on us to talk. So you talk as long as you want to talk about this, and I'll shut up and listen. So, okay, 5 starts in. I'm going to ask you to dig a little deeper because you scratched the surface there, but 5 starts in from the first start against the Rams to what we saw this last week against Tampa. Where have you seen the most progression in 5 starts?
I think it's that calmness that I'm talking about. It's the confidence, the body language, the ability, no matter what the situation is, to remain calm, to not look like someone who's starting to come apart at the seams, starting to have bad reads, starting to have happy feet, starting to want to bail out of the pocket when nothing is there, turning the football over unnecessarily, forcing the ball in the double. I mean, of course there's going to be mistakes, but it's the composure that you continue to see become better and better and better and better. But he's going to have errant reads. He's going to have misfires. But to me, the level of comfort that he is continuing to push higher and higher every week, look, there's no better validation of that than when you have team leaders like the Mario Davis kind of putting their stamp on it. When you have former people from the area and guys like Tyrann Mathieu go, hey, I think we may have one here. I think we've got our guy. Players don't always know, but players know. Players can really identify guys who they say, hey, I'll follow that dude. And they'll also tell you guys who they won't follow. They're telling you they'll follow this kid after 5 starts.
Yeah. He's on Twitter at Riddick ESPN. He's Louis Riddick, good enough to hang out with us here for a couple of minutes. Okay, one of the big questions, Louis, we've had here is, how do you evaluate Tyler Shuck? And it was similar with Spencer Rattler when, quite honestly, the Saints aren't a good team. The offensive line is banged up. They traded away Rashid Shaheed. Alvin Kamara's hurt. Like, you don't even have a full complement of NFL weapons around him. So What is realistic to look at with this team, and then how do you project a guy if you actually do put talent around him?
Yeah, you see that's always a question people ask, and I understand why. But there's a way about going about your craft, regardless of who's around you, that can give you, as an evaluator, some semblance of, or enough data to where you could project comfortably, well, this is probably what this would look like if he did have a full complement of weapons around him in terms of blocking, weapons on the perimeter, a good, stable running back situation. And a lot of times it's not going to be reflective in 300-yard passing games, 3 touchdowns a game, QBR of 9. Sometimes it's not going to come out in the objective data like that. And so and you're going to have to do some projecting. But there's also things that these guys, meaning the Saints organization, are privy to that no one else is. They see him every day from the moment he walks in the building to how he takes care of his body, to how he acts in meetings, to how he is in walkthroughs, to how he is in 7-on-7, and team, and red zone, and 2-minute and third down situation, what he's like post-practice, what he's like in the post-practice meetings. They have access to all that info that allows them to make an even better assessment about as to whether or not when the situation's better for him, as far as his health, he may go from here to way up here. And I think with him, that's what they're going to wind up doing. Yeah. And he's giving you no reason to think otherwise at this point. The only reason why you wouldn't make that jump with him relative to all the things you're talking about that he doesn't have is because you had it in your mind before he even got in there. This guy ain't good enough. He's just not good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and confirm my bias with all the negative data points that support what my preconceived notion about him was. And that's what people have done to him from day one. From the time he went to the Senior Bowl, all the way through the Combine, through the draft. He's going to have to fight that until he has one of those 3,500, 4,000-yard seasons, 30 touchdown seasons, and takes the Saints to the playoffs. And even then it'll change. Then it'll change to, well, hell, anybody could do this with all these weapons. You know what I mean?
At that point, Lewis, I don't care about the narrative, brother. I just want to see the Saints back in the playoffs.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
No, of course, yes, of course.
There's plenty of quarterbacks who have great seasons, who then people say, well, hell, I could do that if I had those weapons. And then there's quarterbacks who don't have a damn thing working in their favor, and they go, well, look at him, he sucks. It's like, well, do you see who he's throwing to? Do you see what his offensive line looks like? And people go, I don't give a damn, he sucks. And that's because of their own bias.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times that's what happens. Simple as that.
Yeah, confirmation bias is a real thing. There's no doubt. Hey, last thing, I want to be respectful of your time. I want to ask you one about how Tyler Shuck fits in what Kellen Moore is trying to do, because we also had this conversation about, look, he was an OC with Dak Prescott and with Jalen Hurts, guys that have a very dynamic running ability. We also saw Justin Herbert, phenomenal arm talent, maybe not quite the runner those guys are. How does Tyler Shuck fit into what Kellen Moore, from what you see and what you know about Kellen Moore, what he wants to do?
Yeah, I think the thing is, as you just mentioned, look, Kellen can adapt to just about any kind of quarterback, which is the great thing about him, which is what makes him, I think, uniquely qualified to wind up having a guy like him. See, there's certain quarterback coaches that you just don't, quarterback coaches, OCs, head coaches, who you feel comfortable bringing in just about any type of quarterback because he'll craft a system, obviously with its basic fundamental, tenets to it, but you'll craft a system that's specifically geared towards this guy throws over the middle better, this guy throws the deep 20-yard out better, this guy throws the big post down the field better, this guy's a good zone read guy, this guy's a good QB run guy. Kellen can do all that. He can craft it, he's done it. So with Tyler, as you saw, you have a guy who can run a lot of quarterback design run or RPOs or zone reads. Do you want to put him in that situation? Do you want to get him banged up like that? Probably not. That's a little more of a change up than what's necessary. Tyler's a great rhythm passer, whether it be from gun, pistol, or under center. He has enough arm strength to hit the ball, throw the ball over the middle, layer the ball over the middle, drive the ball in the deep outs, throw the deep ball. You've seen him hit the 9 routes on the outside. There's really nothing he can't do. So for Kellen, It's just about week by week, what do we need from him and how do we utilize him best? And that's, I know people would probably be sitting here thinking, well, damn, who are we talking about? Patrick Mahomes? I mean, damn, we're talking about Tyler Shuck. But, see, that's the thing, right? What's going to happen is, and this is what I hope happens. Honest to God, this is what I hope happens. He is going to, if things break right for him and management can surround him the way that he needs to, that every quarterback needs to be surrounded, like you're talking about, like some of the things they don't have that they get for him. The coaching staff remains stable. Even the assistants, they remain stable. And this kid continues to ascend. There's really, to me, there's nothing he can't do. And I'll just leave you with this. There's a very, 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 very smart head coach in the NFL right now who's tutored some pretty damn good quarterbacks who thought that this guy was maybe the best pure thrower in the entire draft last year, period. So take that for what it's worth. And that's not me just saying that. That's the truth. And that's why this guy, I really do think that the Saints fans and the Saints organization, they got a guy who a couple of years from now, people are going to be going, man, was I like way too low on this guy?
Well, your words carry a lot of weight. You saw it before so many others did, so we appreciate the time. Louis Riddick, ESPN, at LRiddick, ESPN. You'll give him a follow on Twitter. We'll probably bother you again at some point down the line, man. We appreciate you so much for your time.
I hope so. All right, man. Take care.
It's our pleasure. Louis Riddick, good stuff. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We are here at Gordon McKernan's office today because special day, as this is the day where Gordon gives away 600 bicycles to less fortunate kiddos all over the state of Louisiana. Today, well, I should say today is the Baton Rouge Give Day. So Gordon will be with us in 30 minutes. We're looking forward to that convo. Just great to be here today. All right, it is After Further Review brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Even though I'm on remote today, you better believe I got my bottle of Evamore right there. 64 ounces. Hey, look, this time of year, cold, flu, all that stuff going around. Great way to stay healthy is to stay hydrated. Make sure you carry your bottle of Evamore around with you all day. Stay hydrated, drinking a healthier product, natural artesian water, drink Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We will have our Fantasy Blitz in 15 minutes. Our buddy Darin Tietgen will be here, so get your questions in, whotostart.net. You can email us, tweet us, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We'll go around the SEC when we come back, and an awesome announcement today from LSU along with Nike on a day where one of the players that is involved in the LSU Nike NIL deal also received a pretty cool honor from the SEC. So we'll get to all that as we continue. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR.
AFR.
It is not too late, y'all. As a matter of fact, you're right on time. 2 weeks from today, we will wake up. We'll dash into the den or wherever it may be, and we'll see what Santa dropped under that tree. But the bottom line is, if you don't have a tree, Santa can't leave presents under the tree, so you better go get a tree. And the best place to go get that Christmas tree is Clegg's Nursery. Any of their 4 locations in Greater Baton Rouge, Seaganer Airline, LA16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local over at Clegg's Nursery. And look, man, still an amazing selection of Christmas trees. Also, poinsettias grown locally in their greenhouses, and their shipments arrive almost daily. So make sure you get by any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Buy local, shop local, tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us on.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Glad to have you back with us here. We are at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's main office here in Baton Rouge on the bicycle giveaway day. Awesome to see all the kiddos in the parking lot getting their bicycles. So many smiles for young people. What a great time of year to be here, and great to be partnered with Gordon. Gordon's going to be here in 25 minutes with us. He'll sit with us for a couple of segments. We'll talk about the bike giveaway, but I want to talk a lot of other stuff too. We'll talk NIL. We'll talk Lane Kiffin, Gordon's role in all of this sort of stuff as well. Future of NIL. G team, everything. We'll get into all that with Gordon coming up. Very relevant because on this day, LSU and Nike jointly announced the launch of Nike's Blue Ribbon Elite program. So this is not, it's important to note, this is not, say, what Texas A&M did last year, where Texas A&M and Adidas jointly announced NIL deals. Well, the way apparel deals work is the apparel company, say in LSU's case Nike, will pay, like their deal is part cash and part gear, right? So Nike will pay LSU a cash sum, and part of the contract will be executed in apparel. Shirt, Blake Baker's gold hoodie, cleats, all the stuff, right? Well, what A&M did, I presume, is they told Adidas, hey, instead of giving us the cash component, take that cash component and go do NIL deals with our student athletes. I think Tennessee did something similar. You saw the 5-star receiver out of Mississippi who committed to Tennessee. I'm blanking on his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. This, as I understand it, is not that. This is separate, true third-party NIL, where Nike could have started with any school in America. Big brands, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Southern Cal, Penn State, big Michigan, big Nike brand schools, and they didn't start with any of them. Nike started with LSU. Why did Nike start with LSU? Because LSU not only has the brand, and it's all things like literally the brand, the department that LSU started called the brand, where it's all focused on these exact things, but the brand that has produced Olivia Dunn and Paul Skeens and Flaugier and Angel Reese and Dylan Cruz and Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels and down the list. Even the non-revenue sports where you look at Mondo Duplantis and Sha'Carri Richardson and Lolo Jones, like LSU is Shaq. LSU is a huge brand. So you have all of that, but LSU also has done a masterful job in the last year and a half, 2 years of preparing for this to be able to execute these deals, to facilitate deals, to handle things like taxes and disbursements and payments to the student athletes, and then managing the deliverables and allocating resources to be able to help with things like video and all that sort of stuff. It's one of the, listen, go back to when Lane Kiffin was hired. I asked him the question how much the NIL plan meant to him deciding to come to LSU. Remember what he said?
Verge and his team had a really, really good plan. Even talked to some donors that are part of that plan here to see exactly how does that work. This was the best setup. That definitely played a factor into it.
And at the end of that soundbite, he talks about how the contracts that he was offered for him were similar, but the NIL plans were not similar, that LSU's was far and away the best. That's the legwork that this team has done for things like this. So you want to know why Lane Kiffin looked in was like, LSU's plan is the best? This is a big part of that. By the way, the 10 athletes, all different sports. Kaylin Shough from gymnastics, who's awesome. Alondra and I got to meet Kaylin on the Nashville trip with our friends at Our Lady of the Lake. Another obvious great corporate partner of LSU, championship health partner that's done a ton of NIL deals as well with student athletes. Kaylin Shough among them. But Kaylin Shough, Derek Curiel, Tori Edwards, Kaysen Evans, Tradez Green, Jaden Havener, Zakiah Johnson, DJ Pickett, Journey Robinson, and DJ Thomas. And by the way, congrats to DJ Pickett, who today was named freshman All-SEC along with Silas Hill, the LSU's freshman long snapper. So congrats to those guys for their much-deserved honor, and LSU for launching with Nike and their Blue Ribbon Elite program. All right, it is After Further Review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here every single day. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. Lee Michaels not far from us. Actually, the corporate office is actually just across the street, but actually behind me, just across the street. But you go down corporate, there's Lee Michaels in Bocage, Mall of Louisiana, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. Gents, thinking of popping the question, holidays are upon us. Make sure you start at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where they have an amazing selection. Because they buy for 10 stores and have that buying power, they can give you a great price to match the selection. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, Muse, hand it off to you. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky is expected to hire Texas A&M defensive coordinator Jay Bateman in the same capacity. That's Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports had it first. 52 years old, second season with A&M, also coached the linebackers over there. First known defensive hire for Will Stein's staff in Lexington. Did not call defensive plays under Elko this past season, so this will give him full autonomy of a defense once again.
Texas A&M!
As for the Aggies, they're expected to promote associate head coach Lyle Hemphill to defensive coordinator to replace Jay Bateman. Gig'em247 confirmed that on Thursday. Mike Elko made significant changes to the defense this past season, including the hiring of Hemphill and taking the play calling duties over. Before the Aggies, Hemphill spent a season as the DC and safeties coach at James Madison.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn has hired former Tennessee defensive coordinator Tim Banks to be their new safeties coach. He was the DC at Tennessee during Golish's 2 seasons there as the offensive coordinator. This will now be the third SEC defensive coordinator from the 2025 season on the Auburn coaching staff.
The Texas Longhorns.
Texas safety Derek Williams Jr. has entered the transfer portal. 3 years at Texas. Finished with 29 career games played, including 3 starts. Out of high school, went to Westgate in Louisiana, was the number 66 overall prospect in the class of 2023.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
And then lastly, 2 South Carolina defensive backs have declared for the NFL draft. Those are Jalen Kilgore and Brandon Cisse. Cisse spent 1 year with the Gamecocks. Of course, Kilgore started 33 games over 3 seasons. That's around the SEC.
Kilgore started 33 games. I knew that offhand, Muse, of course. It's after further review. Thanks, Muse. We appreciate it. We're going to knock out a break. We're here at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's office. We're presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Give Blasia and the crew a call over at decisioncriticalbr.com. Let me knock out a break, come back. We'll do our Fantasy Blitz. Before you set your football, your fantasy roster, check with our guys at whotostart.net, whotostart.net. Get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, or text us. Fantasy Blitz is next as we wrap up hour number 1 of AFR.
After further review.
AFR is brought to you by River Cities 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Hey, I want to remind you that you can save $30 on any system repair or on your preseason heater tune-up and safety inspection when you mention the show. Call River Cities 1 Hour Air and have them come out to the house. Love sharing these 5-star Google reviews. Mike Palmisano, shout out. Paisan. 1 Hour Air should feel honored to have Russell M. as part of their team. He performed preventative maintenance on our system, was extremely thorough and professional. I was truly impressed with his knowledge. He took the time to explain preventative maintenance options the company offers, which I highly recommend. Excellent service all around. Another 5-star review. By the way, River Cities 1 Hour Air has more than double the amount of 5-star reviews of the next closest competitor because they've been doing it for 40 years better than anyone else. 1hourbr.com or call 752-0001 where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. After further review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.net.
Who the hell are you?
Whotostart.net. The Fantasy Football Blitz.
Who the bitten?
This is the Fantasy Football Blitz, powered by whotostart.net.
Let's get it. We're wrapping up hour number 1. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We are live today at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's main office for the bicycle giveaway. Celebrities like Will Helmer show up, which is just so good. Let's get to our Fantasy Blitz. Darin Tietgen, who2start.net, the numeral 2, who2start.net. Darin, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, Matt. How are you guys doing today?
Doing awesome. Ready for the start of our football weekend. We got an NFC South battle tonight. Atlanta, Tampa. Tampa really needs this one, man. Who are we keeping an eye on tonight?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get some more wide receivers back for the Bucs. Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan are supposed to be back. I would expect Mike Evans to be 100%. He didn't have a lower body injury. He had a collarbone injury. So if that thing's healed, then he should be good to go, and he should be in your lineups if you have him on your team. And then for the Falcons, it looks like Drake London is out again, so look for Kyle Pitts to kind of pick up some of the slack.
Remember, get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Always ask for a few sleepers. D, who are we looking at?
Yeah, we've got a couple for you. First, at running back, we have Michael Carter, who's kind of the pass-catching back for the Cardinals. Looks like Trey Benson's not going to play at all the rest of this year, so him and Bam Knight will share the responsibilities for the running backs for the Cards. Game script probably favors Carter since they're going to be behind, so he may get you 5 or 6 catches actually in a handful of runs. So Michael Carter would be the running back sleeper for us this week. Then at wide receiver, we were liking Ricky Pearsall from the Niners. Had kind of a quiet year. Fighting off injuries in the beginning of the year, dealing with a backup quarterback towards the middle of the season, and then, just kind of, fighting for targets with George Kittle. Now that we're at the end of the season, looks like Pearsall is probably a good play for you.
Make sure you get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. All teams off bye, so we are headed toward the playoffs. Let's get to your questions. Let's start with Steven, who said, hey, Darin, Devontae Adams, or he says he's got Devontae Adams, St. Brown, or Shaheed. Pick 2. So I guess that's a who to sit. Which 2 are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going to sit Shaheed there. He's just too boomer bust for me. I mean, he's the kind of guy. I mean, he was the same way with the Saints, where he either catch one ball for 15 yards or 3 balls for 100 and a touchdown. So he's not a volume type of guy. So especially if you're in a PPR league, I like Brown or St. Brown and Devontae Adams, who just catches a ton of touchdowns. So I'd go with those 2 over Shaheed.
Daryl says who to start. He needs 2. He's got Michael Pittman, Xavier Worthy, Christian Watson, or Franklin is the 4th. So he needs 2 of those 4.
I'm sitting the last 2. The other guys just have better matchups and are more regular targets for their respective quarterbacks. Other guys are in a time, not say a timeshare like a running back, but are in a bigger running or a wide receiver stable, if you will.
I'm not sure. Is Mike Evans going to play tonight, Darin? Do we know yet?
Yeah, I think he's been activated off the IR, and the only reason they would do that would be to play him. Yeah. And like I said in the open, it was a collarbone injury. It wasn't like a knee or an high ankle sprain or anything like that. So once that collarbone is healed, I mean, he shouldn't be on a snap count or anything like that, or a snap restriction. So I think I'm playing him in one of my leagues where I really, really need that one other wide receiver. So I would play him.
Ronnie says he's got a question. He said his PPR league, he needs 2. He's got Harold Fannin, Wan'Dale Robinson, Marvin Harrison Jr., or Mike Evans.
Let's see. I would go with Wan'Dale for sure in the PPR format. He's going to get peppered with targets. Boy. Who was the last one? I'm sorry, Matt.
No, you're good. It was Franklin. No, I'm sorry. It was Harold Fannin, Wan'Dale Robinson, Marvin Harrison, or Mike Evans. It needs 2.
Evans. I would go with Mike Evans. Yeah. Marvin Harrison Jr. is still nursing a heel injury. I don't think they're going to rush him back with nothing to play for. I think Mike Evans is your home run hitter there for that second wide receiver spot.
See if we can get 2 more in. Randall says Sam Darnold or Jalen Hurts. Who to start?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, man. He's on one of my bigger league teams, and I'm plugging him in and just wishing for the best. He's just too good and has the propensity to run for five or six times for 50, 60 yards. So I think you're going Jalen Hurts there, but just keep your fingers crossed that he doesn't stink like he has the past couple of weeks.
Scott, this is a good dismount. He said, hey, Darin, help me feel better about taking Saquon second overall and missing the playoffs by a game.
Ouch. Yeah, Saquon has been disappointed. I don't know what it is, if it's the blocking, it's the scheme. I don't know if people have just warmed up to what he was doing last year, but you got to play him if you have him.
He's Darin Tietgen, who2start.net. Win your league, numeral 2, who2start.net. Darin, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks as always.
All right, man, be well. It is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a big commercial building like we're in today here at Gordon's office, your home, your vehicle. Maybe you had water intrusion, there's mold, mildew, little odor. Maybe it's pet odor, sweat odor, fire odor. You want to knock that out, Parish Restoration can help. They'll come spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. It's easy. Go to the website, fill out the form. They'll give you the estimate. Boom. It's more cost effective. It's more efficient. It's more effective. It's Parish Restoration. parishrestoration.com. parishrestoration.com. All right, y'all. AFR wrapping up hour number 2. We're excited. We're here at Gordon's office today, and G's going to join us here on site for the next couple of segments. Want to talk about Lane Kiffin, NIL, and, of course, the reason we're here, Gordon's bicycle giveaway. Hour 2 is next.
After Further Review.
As we wrap up our first hour, love reminding you about our friends over at Relief Windows. Brandon Holly's been such a great friend and great supporter for so many years, and they do such great work. And when I always talk about the job Relief Windows does, you know, if you're looking for windows, doors, siding, shutters, I mean, those products are commodities. You can get the same thing anywhere, right? I mean, a lot of people can sell you a window or a door, but what differentiates Relief Windows is the service. It's why Brandon always says our number one product is customer satisfaction. Brandon's told me for years, as a business owner, you have to be willing to spend your last dollar to make your customer happy. And when you do that, your reputation will be good, you'll do great work, and you'll obviously continue to get business. And it's worked for Relief Windows with a true lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. Learn more. Start at the website today at reliefwindows.com. That's online at reliefwindows.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Injury question for T.J. Watt. Steelers star edge rusher in a local hospital for further evaluation with a lung injury after expressing discomfort at practice in the facility. His status for Monday night's game against the Dolphins is in question. The injury occurred during treatment on Wednesday. Had 6 tackles, including a tackle for loss and a QB hit in the win for the Steelers over the Ravens on Sunday. Pittsburgh offense showing some life in a big victory. QB Aaron Rodgers says they were more in sync on offense.
Everybody on the same page. I don't feel like we had many plays where 10 guys, 9 guys doing it right, and 1 or 2 guys are not doing it right. And you got to give credit to those guys for the way they prepared. They're pros. They've played a lot of football.
Elsewhere in baseball, the Braves are signing former Padres closer Robert Suarez to a 3-year, $45 million deal. He led the National League with 40 saves and 45 chances this season, has pitched to a 2.87 ERA over the last 2 years.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you the one team that has the most pressure on them this weekend if they want to make the playoffs. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Oh!
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We are live today at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Do we call it the mothership here?
This would be the mothership.
The main office right there, looking at everybody driving down I-10 with the. Is that Penny?
That is Penny out there.
Penny is the big inflatable. I can't see with the wall here. What other inflatables we got out there right
I think
now?
we have Buddy the Elf. We have the Grinch. We have Santa. We have reindeer.
Smiling. Smiling's my favorite.
Oh yeah, we have a bunch, and we have a nativity scene. We got to mix the commercial with the Christian. Both,
of course, the flags. You came in. Look, that white SUV. They're listening, no doubt. We're waving at you right there on I-10. Do you ever just sit in your office here and just look at the traffic?
I do. Obviously as a car accident lawyer, I like to watch traffic. And sometimes I'll call my marketing and say, hey, why are cases down and calls down? And I look outside and go, okay, I see now.
Yeah, man.
And during COVID, it was just
there's
sit up here and nobody else on the road.
When I earlier in my radio career, I was at the Xerox building right here, and so our studio at what was then 1210, the Score 1210 was, basically the same view from the 4th floor, just looking right over there. You can get mystified just looking at I-10 from time to time. We could get mystified looking at this coaching search as well. My goodness! So the last time you and I talked, you were on the show. We were over at Courts a Table. And that was shortly after Brian Kelly had been fired, maybe a week or so after he had been fired.
Yeah.
From then to now, how would you describe, let me say, your involvement in whatever happened?
Right. Well, first, that little video segment, that gathered a lot of interest out there.
Your comments?
Just the whole thing that I was talking and kind of lifting, the people said you lifted up the curtain. We could understand a little bit more about what was actually happening, what the real story was. And I got a lot of people who appreciated that part and appreciated the defense of Scott Woodward and some of those things. So I think it was a good thing that we did.
I don't know if you know this, G.
What?
A lot of people listen and watch. There's a lot of people.
But, for them to reach out to me and go, man, thank you for doing that great episode. I learned something. Thanks for standing up for Scott and things like that. It was a little interesting to me that people actually reached out and told me that, right? So I think that was a good thing that we did that. Since that time, and you and I may have had a few conversations, maybe not here and there, trying to understand the chaos of the coaching circle, right, and what was happening. On that show, I said, I'm hopeful we would get Lane Kiffin, and I think he's great for LSU. I think we had to make a stand, right? If we're going to announce to the public we're still relevant, we are still one of the top 3 or 4 programs, we had to go do something like this. Because it's amazing. It's kind of like, when you make an investment and you get these returns and 10%, 10%. If you have one down year wipes out everything, right, immediately. And it takes you another 5 years to get back to where you were. And I think that's kind of what happened. We fell really far, really fast. Right, if you think about it.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think we were being thought of like that anymore. But I think the hiring of Coach Kiffin certainly puts us back in a lot of conversations. Right. We had some of the players out here today for our bike giveaway, and I say, hey guys, what are you thinking? And they were all very positive of what they think it'll be for the future of LSU.
Yeah. There's no. So I don't. Have you gotten to meet Lane yet?
I'm scheduled to meet him this week.
Okay. Yeah. So I only know him just from interviewing him at SEC Media Days. But I can't tell you that I know Lane Kiffin, right? I've interviewed him. He's been on the show, press conferences. But I have an impression of him, like I think a lot of people do, because he's been very public. What are your impressions of Lane Kiffin? I was going to ask you if you had any personal, but if you haven't met him yet. But so what are your impressions outside in?
Well, obviously he seems to be an offensive genius type, right? And then when you talk to people and they say he just seems a little different, not rude, just a little different. And I think that probably goes hand in hand with his creativity and his passion on the field. I hear he's somewhat introverted, right? And he's not going to be out and about doing all these things. And big into his family and his yoga and things like that. Right. So, doesn't duck hunt from what I hear, doesn't fish from what I hear, doesn't golf from what I hear. So
he's coaching football.
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to have a whole lot in common with him. So,
me either.
But hopefully he's a good guy, and we'll break bread and talk about things.
Do you? Gordon McKernan's with us. We're here at Gordon's office today for the bicycle giveaway, which we'll talk about here in just a quick second. It's an awesome thing that Gordon does. We've been talking about it for weeks and weeks, but every year the Philanthropy around the holidays gives away 600 bicycles. So we'll talk about that here in just a quick second. One of the things that I find fascinating throughout this process is when last we spoke, one of the big, called a controversy maybe for lack of better words, was Brian Kelly's buyout, and then what the LSU was going to pay for a new coach, and of course the governor made his comments and all. And then here we are, G, with the perception like LSU can't afford whatever, and then Lane Kiffin, $91 million contract. Here's Charlie Weiss, 3 years, $7.5 million contract. Blake Baker's up north of 3 now as well. Where'd all the money come from?
Well, I think that the department that Scott had run for years was well run, right? It was profitable, and it was profitable to a good extent. When you look at the other universities around the country, I mean, he had it placed in the top, right? So you've got surplus there. Plus, some of these things were already built into future budgets. I'm not saying the buyout was built in, but certainly we're continue to pay him, so that the $800,000 a month or whatever we're paying is built in, and then they'll fold this money in. I think there's still more money to be squeezed from different places and from the business infrastructure as well as the donors and businesses. I think more people are excited and getting involved and coming to not the rescue, but coming to support the program from what I'm understanding. So I think there's the big donors are still very committed, and you're bringing in some new blood from what I hear.
Can you elaborate just because that is sort of the fascinating thing that I think our audience appreciates so much, like your perspective and candor is that's a side of this that most people never see, right? That happens with handshakes and conversations that are very rarely ever done in the public. But What is it? What is sort of the feeling among the people who are generous benefactors of the athletic department and the LSU football program since Lane Kiffin was hired? Maybe relative, because the other thing you said the last time when we were at Court to Table was, I think the way you said it was, you were losing money either way.
Yeah.
If you kept Brian Kelly, the suites were empty, the seats were empty, but if you got rid of him, you're going to have to pay the buyout.
Right.
So either way. So what are the conversations like among those circles now that LSU has hired Lane Kiffin?
Yeah. Well, there's obviously certain financial realities that we have to deal with, and I think there's a plan in there to do that, but it does have to be met with enthusiasm and support from the donor base, from big business owners all the way down to the mom and pops, and we've talked about that some, where Ole Miss does a really good job of getting that intermediate, donor to give. The everyday banker, lawyer, attorney who might give 25 or 50 or 100, they're really, really good at that. So I think that has come into play where you're starting to see more of that, a bigger widespread, because I think there's a lot more excitement for Lane Kiffin and what he's going to bring to Tiger Stadium as compared to his predecessor, right?
No, I'm sorry. Was it similar when? Do you remember if it was similar when Brian Kelly was hired?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't like this.
It wasn't as much juice.
No.
Why do you think that is?
I think because you watch.
That was a coup. I mean, winning as coach in Notre Dame history, all that stuff.
Yeah, we hear that, but there's a difference when you watch. And it's probably the age of social media and how good he is online. I mean, just yesterday with Michigan, he's able to generate excitement and following. Is he not?
The Portnoy tweet.
I mean, just that.
I love him on Twitter, but gee, I'm a troll. Like, I mean, I've got this whole brand around me now that just trolls Alabama fans.
I know, but it's great.
Alabama fans can't quit me. Like, they don't know how to quit me.
Right, and I think to some degree, college football can't quit Lane.
That's a good way to put it.
And now, LSU faithful, we can't quit him. We hadn't barely got to know him, but we're already hooked. Yeah. Right? Yeah, it's just different.
He's just got to win now.
He's got to win.
But you know what? It is going to be great for this show.
Yeah, I turned 60 next year, and my wife has graciously said it's the year of you, and I want to chase fish a lot, fly fish a lot. And I had a big trip set up for next November to go to New Zealand and fish. And I know the schedule's coming out tonight, and I had to said, I don't know who we play in November.
Oh, you don't know yet? No. I'll tell you in the break.
Okay. And if we're playing Alabama in November, we're playing Ole Miss. I'm not going to fish and not
Ole Miss, but Alabama, yes.
Okay. See right there, I'm not going to miss that game.
Yeah, it's going to be
right.
Something.
I mean, we're 8-0 and they're 8-0. Yeah, you got to be in Tiger Stadium.
Tiger Stadium or New Zealand to fish.
Yeah, I'm going Tiger Stadium, right?
New Zealand will always be there, right?
Exactly.
New Zealand's
but the first time that that heads-up match, no.
Can you go fly fishing in December? When's fly fishing season?
In New Zealand, you can do it in December.
Okay, what about January?
Yeah, you can do it in January.
Might be playing in mid-January.
I know, but it messes up the whole thing.
So you go to February?
It's starting to change a little bit in February.
When does it start?
It starts in October, so you can't go. So
no, October I think will be a good time to go. You can miss Kentucky.
I can miss Kentucky. You're right.
You wouldn't want to miss Auburn, though.
Yeah, I don't want to miss Auburn, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Yes, I'm done.
When A&M's not on the schedule next year.
Yeah.
Remember, it's rotated off.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no, A&M's on. A&M's on.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's off.
Oklahoma's off. Tennessee is on.
Yeah.
We're going to play them away. I don't know when. But
let me just see. You don't want to miss November.
Okay, see?
You don't want to miss November.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You don't want to miss November.
Yeah, I don't want to miss November.
Why am I telling you things you don't know? That's ridiculous. Gordon McKernan is with us. We're here at Gordon's office today because it's the bicycle giveaway, giving away 600 bikes across the state of Louisiana to children all across the state, which is an awesome thing. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. We'll talk with G a little bit more about that. And I want to talk about the G team and his role in NIL as LSU moves into this new era of true third-party NIL, something he's done really, really well now for 4 years already. We'll continue with Gordon McKernan on AFR.
AFR.
Thinking about selling your home? Call Darin James and get your home sold. I was visiting with Darin earlier today. It's pretty amazing when you think about this. I know I've given you this imagery before, but if you fill up Tiger Stadium 15 times, that's how many realtors there are in America. Darin James is number 14 in America in volume, the number of homes sold. It's incredible when you think of it that way, but it's a testament to the way he works, his ability to communicate with people, the systems, the processes that he has in place, his efficiency. and his ability to get to a closing table and get your home sold faster for more money. If you need to sell your home, you need Darin James. 335-7666. This is Darin's cell, by the way. 335-7666, 335-7666, or online at agent225.com, agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need the best, you need Darin James. Again, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darin James.
It's time for Christmas on the River, Cajun style. Join us for the 35th Annual Festival of the Bonfires, December 13th through 15th at Lutcher Park in St. James Parish. Enjoy great food, live music, local crafts, Santa's Very Merry Forest, and carnival rides. Plus, we'll light a new bonfire on Friday and Saturday in preparation for the arrival of Papa Noel. The 2024 Festival of the Bonfires is sponsored by First American Bank and Trust. Log on to festivalofthebonfires.org for more information.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
Glad you're rolling along with us here. We're at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's Office. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Check out our friends Blazion and the whole team over at Decision Critical all over the state of Louisiana. They opened up their Dallas office as well. Ooh. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. You know them?
Yeah.
They're awesome, man. Blazion does an awesome job.
Great job. I need to go ahead and hire for about 22 years from now. When I'm 81 or 82, because my wife has told me she's going to hire me the best help. She's just not going to give me the help. So I need to go ahead and do that.
If we're being honest, do you want your wife at the same age as you taking care of you? Or would you rather have a professional nurse?
I think I'd rather have a professional nurse.
No doubt, right? Like, let your wife enjoy life with you
let her,
at 80, whatever the case may be. But thanks to Blazion and the team. They're awesome over there. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Don't let the BR fool you. They're all over the state of Louisiana. I told her she needs to amend the website. Like, you can't drop the BR because it's the whole state.
Good point.
Hey, this is, I love coming here, and your team does a great job of putting this event on. But why, I know we've talked about it, but The 600 bicycles, why was that the philanthropy around the holidays?
It was a childhood memory of receiving a bike and just love the bike. And somehow through life, I thought of that as a way to give back. And as the business grew and was more successful, kind of became a bigger, I don't want to call it a burden, but a bigger thought on me. Why not do something? Why not make a difference for a family or a young boy, a young girl here in Louisiana? And it somehow just came together. I can't explain it. It just bikes.
Was this the first big piece of philanthropy that you did?
Yeah, that was, you know, obviously you give to your church, you support things like that, cancer causes. My dad had cancer and things like that, so was very involved in those things, but community-wide, giving back, something like that, I
mean, you do so much. It's one of the things that I have told our audience. I think everybody sees you very publicly, you know, TV billboards that and obviously I think your profile is probably elevated even more in the NIL era. Is that fair to say?
I would think so.
But one of the things that is I've got to know you just on a more personal level is like you're, and I don't mind saying that, but you're a genuinely good person who likes to help people. I think you do look for opportunities to help people in these different communities. I mean, like your logo's everywhere. I mean, I can do the Down Syndrome Awareness Buddy Walk, and like there's Gordon's got a tent, and then I go, you know, my son plays a Miracle League, and Gordon's sponsoring the field. They're like, I mean. I guess it's kind of an obvious question, but like, why do you feel it's so important to be that involved in all the different things?
I would think, you know, an example of my father being a real heart-forward guy. He was just willing to help people. I witnessed that growing up, him just taking up causes, so to speak, for people. And then I think becoming aware of things through my faith and just developing as a Christian, and you start really understanding what it means to love people, right? Sounds silly, but that's what it is. It's just what it is.
Everyone needs to do that.
Yeah, how can you love others, right? And you can pray for people, and you can do acts of kindness and acts of service, and then you could be benevolent and just give. And so we try to incorporate all of that here inside the law firm as well as my family, right? I don't think you could do one. You should do them all. You should pray for people. You should love people by telling them you love them, by showing them you love them, getting involved. So that's what we try to do here.
I love that, man. That's really well said. And I will clumsily transition by saying, and when you love the Tigers, you give it NIL deals and stuff like that. No, but that's another piece of all this, because it's, you know, part of the NIL stuff that you've done, is not just. I remember we talked about the first NIL deal you did was with Kayshawn.
No, Alexis Morris was actually my first.
Oh, that's right. Alexis was first.
And that was
but still, she was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You know?
It was also, go do something different. Yeah. If I'm going to do it, I hadn't done NIL. I was like, all right, I'm going to do Alexis.
Yeah.
And something different. And then the Kayshawn thing blew up. By the way, he called me the other day and said, I want you to come up to a playoff game. I mean,
love it.
Think about where he was, you know, the gambling and all that, because we helped him through some of those things. And for him to basically say, like, you stood by me. Right, and so that's great. May I go see him and Will, and that'd be great.
Yeah, he just needed to get healthy, man.
He did.
Like, it's one of those where you think and wonder, like, the what if, you know, the injury at Kentucky and how dominant he was.
People don't realize how fast and how strong he was out of cut. He was different.
Very similar. I would say this when you talk about that coming out of a. You were saying Jamar. I was going to say Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry is the one that I always think of. Jarvis trained with Mac Chiwilli over at Traction. I remember having this conversation with Mac because they would track that. Like they could put you on machines to track. And like the thing about Jarvis is typically when you cut and change direction, you decelerate. And Jarvis didn't decelerate. The reason he gained separation, he was not a straight line fast guy.
He kept his speed.
Yeah. It's incredible to see things like that. But so Lane Kiffin, obviously, new hire at LSU. What do you suspect your role will be in the NIL space, in this third part of this true third-party NIL?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm happy to help and happy to get involved. I know they've talked to me a little bit about with the clearinghouse and those things that, you know, getting the dollars to the players in the appropriate manner that's approved by the clearinghouse is important. So I think they want to see some of my ideas and how I've done it and how you can implement it, because I think there's a lot of ways to be creative to allow more businesses to come to the NIL space, right? You don't have to always put someone on a billboard or in a commercial or social media. Those are great, but there are some creative ways I think that we can do it.
Yeah. You know, but when we It's interesting because you've done both. You've been a benefactor of the collective, which in the, I don't know, just the pay for play NIL, right? You fund the collective pays players. You can't do that anymore.
Right.
But you've also done the true third-party NIL, which you have your whole team that's organized that and made sure the deliverables were executed. And so you've done what a lot of athletic departments are trying to figure out right now. You've been doing that for 4 years. So when you think about what you were contributing to the collective, and what you told me one time what you were doing in NIL. Did you crack seven figures in
given years?
In true, third party. So like, would you like? Do you increase? Do you take the collective money and put it into NIL? Do you expand? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I guess I'll figure that out as I go. I'm still very committed to the programs that I've been supporting. Women's gymnastics, which is great, and women's basketball, men's baseball, and football. Those four I still want to do, and little one-offs. I'll do a cheerleader. I'll do a chess player or something, just something silly, whatever.
You've done great. You've done deals with track athletes.
Yeah, track athletes. Yeah.
Gymnast, Tiger Girls. Right. We've had them all on the show.
Yeah. I like good, compelling stories. You're a journalist, right? Yeah. When you see a compelling story, you want to tell about it. And I want to do the same thing. I want people to know about it, but I want to be there with them, so to speak. How do you think, or where do you think LSU is positioned in the new era of NIL moving forward? No, I think they're positioned well. I think Austin Thomas and what he was doing was ahead of what the other people were doing. And I think, from what I understand, the gentleman coming in from Ole Miss, Billy, I haven't met him, but I hear good things about him. So I think they're kind of cut from the same cloth. And I think you have to be that. I think you have to have a general manager mentality to some extent, right? A salary cap guru to some extent on how you're doing this. And you don't want to overpay for an NIL kid coming in and transfer portal, because that can eat up a lot of your payroll, so to speak.
When you said you're going to meet with Lane Kiffin, I guess, and you'd meet with Billy Glasscock, the new GM, as well. So
I think a lot of, it's not just me. There are lots of people. I think they're doing the right thing. Get out, meet the boosters and the business people in the community, and just cast their vision.
I've had quite a few conversations so far in the last week with people who have had those types of meetings.
Yeah.
So it's generally Lane and the GM, Billy. And the thing that's so interesting, the word that so many people keep using about Billy Glasscock, they keep saying he's so impressive. Like, I've heard people say, like, so many people use that word, impressive, and how detail-oriented and thorough in the plan they have to put everything together. What are you maybe hoping to hear or see from Lane or from the GM, or is there anything?
What I kind of talked about with Austin, you see the plan, and Austin had a big board with everything. I want to see that same type of mentality where they want to be frugal, and they're just not going to be spendthrifts, like the Michigan guy throwing $3.5 million at Bryce Underwood. That's, you know what I mean? I think Coach Kiffin can see you probably don't need to do things like that, right? Yeah. So being smart and frugal with the dollars and spending them well, kind of the old New England Patriot model.
Yeah, the Moneyball, I guess, maybe.
Moneyball,
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you don't need the all-star first baseman if he costs you this, but he's only doing that. Yeah.
All right. Before you go, and I appreciate you for carving out time for us here. You mentioned baseball as we sort of transition into that. What do you think about Coach Jay's team this year?
I'm excited. I saw him as coach. I know we kind of talked some numbers, but if you want more, I'm open, because your recruiting class and what you're doing, it's just special. Really excited.
Yeah, that's one that I look at, and that's in this era, that's the one that I think everybody looks at and goes, all right, because baseball has to win here.
Yes.
There is no, and Jay Johnson knows this. There's no middle ground.
That's it.
It's not, if baseball's not good, people aren't just gonna be like, oh well, we're football. No, they got to be good.
Yeah.
But in the rev share era, football eats up such a gigantic chunk of that money, so you have to do true third-party NIL at the level that's going to allow you to compete.
Yeah. And you need someone like Jay who will just roll up the sleeves, get to work, and say, I get it. Do I like it? Do I think it's fair? Do I think I should get more? No, but I'm going to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And he will work, and he will do it. So I love that about him. He doesn't make excuses, doesn't complain, just gets about the business and does the work. So excited about it. I can see Helmer's in the back shaking his head. Wish he had another year of eligibility, but, they need someone who can throw faster than 78.
I was supposed to say, bro, I love Will Helmers. I don't think Will Helmers is seeing a bump on this team.
Got the double bird in front of him.
I don't know about that, man.
No, 78 was your curve, right? What is your changeup? That was your fastball.
He went out on a high, man.
But he had complete control at all times.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It's not how hard you can throw. You got to know where it's going to go.
That's right.
Like old Rick Vaughn.
Yeah.
Gordon McKernan, we appreciate it. Thanks for having us out here. We always appreciate you, man.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
We appreciate it. It is After Further Review. We're at Gordon's office. We're presented by Decision Critical. We're going to knock out a quick break. We'll come back and continue on a Thursday edition of AFR.
AFR.
I want to remind you about the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown, as they say right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. But, you know, the Watermark Baton Rouge is gorgeous, man. It's Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. It was rated and voted by you in the Best of 225 as the best hotel in Baton Rouge. And not only is it a great place to stay, holidays are here. If you've got family, friends coming in from out of town, make sure they know that you can stay downtown. Actually, drove right by Watermark earlier today. Beautiful day in downtown Baton Rouge. It's walking distance to restaurants and shopping and all the different historical sites in downtown Baton Rouge. And it's an amazing place to host whatever event that you have coming up. If it's a wedding reception, if it's a board meeting, maybe it's a fundraiser, any type of gala. Watermark Baton Rouge, downtown Baton Rouge is exquisite. Just walk in, have a glass of wine or a cocktail at the lobby bar, have dinner at the Gregory right there in the lobby, or Milford's on 3rd, which is the sort of more casual sandwich shop. You can't miss when you're at Watermark Baton Rouge.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
We roll along here, a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Not just healthcare for your lifestyle. From birth, you're bringing home a newborn baby, you need to sleep at night. Their expertly trained nurses can take care of your newborn through the night. Maybe it's end-of-life care. Maybe you've received a tough diagnosis, whatever it may be. Maybe you've had surgery and you need help post-op carrying out your physician's orders in the home. The expertly trained nurses at Decision Critical can help. They can even do things like therapeutic phlebotomy. If you're on HRT like I am and you need to give blood, they can come do that at your home or office to save you time. IV therapy, they can come to your home or office. It saves you time. It's so convenient. It's Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. If you missed it, we had Louis Riddick with us last hour of ESPN. He was one of the ones who was maybe the most bullish on Tyler Shuck throughout the draft process. Great conversation with Louis Riddick. If you missed it, highly recommend you check that out. We will have Mike Triplett 1 hour from right now as we kind of preview Saints-Panthers coming up this weekend. But the latest Saints injury report is out. Saints-Panthers in advance of the game. The big news a day ago was that Taliesin Fuaga returned to practice for New Orleans. Here on Thursday, Alvin Kamara, Asim Richards were DNPs, which has been the case. Kamara with the knee and ankle designation did not practice. Asim Richards hurt his ankle in the game last week in the win against Tampa, did not practice. Devon Gotcha also a DNP, but that's been consistent throughout the course of the season. He just gets a veteran rest day. So nothing wrong with Devon Gotcha, just a rest day. The rest of the injury report, the great news on this injury report is that Justin Reed was back at practice. Now, he was limited, but he was practicing. So he's got the knee injury. He missed last week. He was a DNP on Wednesday. DNP, if you don't, did not participate or did not practice. So he was a DNP on Wednesday. And so the concern generally is if you're not at least out there in a limited capacity by Friday, you're moving around doing football-adjacent things, you're probably not going to play on Sunday. So the fact that Justin Reed was back out there here Thursday in a limited capacity is really good news. That's an upgrade from a day ago when he was when he DNP'd. Chris Rumph was upgraded from limited to full. And then Taliesin Fuaga and Devin Neal both practiced in a limited capacity both days this week, Wednesday and Thursday. So Saints are trending in a really good direction. The Carolina Panthers, meanwhile, they are about as healthy a team as you can imagine. They had they had 5 players listed on their injury report with an injury designation, but all 5 were full participants on Thursday. Chairless, a linebacker with a concussion. J.C. Horn, concussion, was full. Cade Mays, their center, ankle injury, full. Lathan Ransom, their safety, thumb injury, full. And then Christian Roseboom, a linebacker with a hip hamstring, was a full. So no limitations at all from Carolina on their injury report as the Saints still try to get a little healthier. But again, the good news there is that Justin Reed was able to get out there and practice for New Orleans. Meanwhile, Kellen Moore met with reporters after practice on Wednesday, and maybe the biggest question was about Alvin Kamara, who again has not been out there, but he was asked if Kamara has a shot to get out there and play this weekend.
Yeah, obviously we haven't done IR, so we're shooting for that, and we'll just see how this thing progresses. You never want to throw timelines on things and make them concrete, and he's doing everything he can.
Did he say concrete? I'm pretty sure I heard him say concrete. You want to make it concrete or concrete? Muse, we're gonna have to save that one for posterity. Ellen just said concrete.
Ellen Moore.
Can you play the concrete again? I just want to make sure I heard concrete.
You never want to throw timelines on things and make them concrete. And
Muse, you can open your mic. Have you ever heard anyone say concrete?
No. Concrete is a new one for me, for sure. Yes.
He's from is Ellen from Idaho? I know he played at Boise State, but he's from somewhere.
He's from Washington.
from Washington State, but he's in a rural part of Washington, right? He's from Prosser, Washington. That's it. Prosser, Washington. But see, here's the thing. Like, I've heard cement and cement. I've heard the emphasis on different syllables there. But concrete and concrete, Muse, we're going to have to save that one, man. I need concrete saved forever because I need to find someone else in humanity who says concrete. Can I hear it one more time?
You never want to throw timelines on things and make them concrete. He's doing everything he can. He's doing everything he can.
I mean, I guess there's complete, so there can be concrete. But Ellen, doing work out there.
I also feel like with cement and cement, it's in different contexts. Like when someone's actually talking about cementing a driveway, it's cement. But if you're going to cement yourself, like I feel the context is different there.
So maybe that might be true for some people, but the actual pronunciation of the word is cement. In the South, we put the emphasis on the first syllable and say cement, but the correct pronunciation is cement. That is how you actually like. I had this conversation with Dan Bornay for many years because there were people who listened to him as the voice of Tiger Stadium for many years because he would say Tigers or whoever penalized, and people would say, why does he say penalized instead of penalized? Well, if you go look in Webster, the preferred pronunciation of the word is penalized, not penalized. It's like the penal system. So anyway, so that's why he always said penalized. I've had that conversation with him. So anyway, cement, we have really deviated, but that's okay. Cement is the preferred pronunciation of the word, not cement. But in the South, we tend to say cement. So for whatever, maybe like pecan or pecan, or pecan, whatever, pecan, whatever. Tomato. It's after further review. We're glad that you're hanging out with us here. We will hit Tigers and the Pros here in just a smidge. And Willie Fritz, by the way, this is going to actually work out really well because my voice is totally crap. And Willie Fritz is a guy who talks like a coach who's yelled for 50 years. So that's awesome. We're actually going to match each other. So Willie Fritz is coming up here in 20 minutes from right now at the start of hour number 3. We'll also have Mike Triplett coming up in hour 3. Got to remind you about our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake welcomes Coach Kiffin and the Kiffin family to Baton Rouge, and as they are preparing for the first season, of course, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU, always preparing to take care of the champions on the floor, on the field, on the court, on the field, on the diamond, and in the classroom, and everyday champions like you and me all over the state of Louisiana. Part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System. Our Lady of the Lake has expertly trained physicians, standalone hospitals like the Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center on Essen, the Children's Hospital in town, the Lake Urgent Care facilities all over Greater Baton Rouge. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. If you have missed the biggest story in the college football world, maybe the sports world, is what's happening at Michigan with Sherrone Moore, and obviously the trickle down effect and how it touches LSU potentially is going to be interesting. And everyone is asking questions about Bryce Underwood, who, as you all know, was a longtime LSU commitment for a solid year before flipping to Michigan. Pete Nakos has a report out right now about Bryce Underwood's contract at Michigan, that it does not have a buyout. So I did explain this prior. A year ago when Bryce Underwood flipped, I was the first to report his contract, which was $12 million, because I just knew that the negotiations that went on between LSU and Bryce Underwood and what ultimately Michigan was offering. And they offered him the $12 million. And what we since learned is the way that was structured was Bryce Underwood did not get a lump sum of $12 million. That it was $3 million per year over 4 years. It was part of LSU's argument or conversation with Bryce Underwood was to say, sure, it's $12 million, but are you really going to stay there for 4 years? If you're in the NFL after 3, then it's not 12, it's 9. And LSU's offer was 1.5 per, if I remember correctly, 1.5 per year over 3 years. So, it would have been less, obviously, than what he was getting at Michigan, but the gap would have been closed, and was it really worth staying? And anyway, the point being is that for Bryce Underwood to get out of Michigan would not be cost prohibitive at this point because he doesn't have a buyout of his deal, and he hasn't been given $12 million yet. He would have made $3 million this year, his first year at Michigan, thereabouts. So I do think that there are financial avenues for him to get out of Ann Arbor. It's just going to be a matter of does he stay? And there is a comment that I've seen publicly here today from Bryce Underwood's father in the Pete Nakos interview that they are waiting to see who the new coach is going to be, who the hire is going to be before they make a decision. Now, remember, the transfer portal opens on January the 2nd, and the portal window is open from January 2nd through the 15th, but you don't have to commit or sign with a school at that point. That you just have to be in the portal in that portal window. It is important to remember, however, that you are sort of adjacent to an academic calendar. So if you're going to go through spring football, you got to be enrolled in school for the spring semester, which, the late enrollees sometime, in late January. So we'll know in relatively short order what Bryce Underwood's plans are going to be, and if LSU could potentially reunite with Bryce Underwood with different coaching staffs a year later than we initially thought. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're here at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's office in Baton Rouge for the bike giveaway. 600 bicycles given to less fortunate children all over the state of Louisiana. What an awesome thing that Gordon and his team do. We're glad to be here to play a very small role in it today. Okay, we're going to knock out a quick break. When we come back, Muse will do Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions over at Glow Resources. If you are starting to budget for 2026, or you're thinking that ways that your business in 2026 can be more profitable, more efficient, Glow Resources can help. Because the reality is you're only as efficient as your people. You have to have the right people in your business in the right seats on the bus. And Glow Resources, that is what they do. Jareth Knockan and his team are awesome. If it's skilled blue-collar labor, if it is their professional placement division, which can handle any type of office job from an office assistant to the C-suite, everything in between. If you want to find a permanent solution, not temp staffing, permanent solutions for your business, to find the right people to make you the most effective, let Glow Resources help. It's GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com, complete employer solutions.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Shough, and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Glad to have you hanging out with us here today from the mothership, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, their main office right off of I-10 in Baton Rouge. If you're one of those poor, unfortunate souls stuck in traffic on I-10, you see the big, giant, inflatable dog on the interstate, like we're in the lobby just looking right out at all of you. So we're waving, and you'll be safe out in the street today. We're glad you're with us. All right, Musso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, so Joe Burrow has made some waves here. It started back after the Bills defeated the Bengals, and Joe Burrow said post-game that he wanted to, quote, go have fun and play football. When he met with the media in his normal Wednesday spot, he expounded on that, and it has definitely turned some heads. Burrow says, quote, if I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table, end quote. Certainly feels like Burrow, if nothing else, setting the stage for maybe a potential exit from Cincinnati, or is that even more a hint at potential early retirement? That doesn't really sound like the competitor that Joe Burrow is, but nonetheless, we will obviously keep you updated there. One update to pass along injury report-wise in the NFL for the former Tigers, and that is Grant Delpit. He was upgraded for the Cleveland Browns here on Thursday to limited. He's dealing with a groin and an illness. Did not practice a day ago, now upgraded to limited. Everybody else we gave you yesterday, Lloyd Cushenberry, Mason Taylor, none of their statuses changed here on Thursday. I guess one note with Taylor is he was a DMP with the neck and remains so maybe not looking great for him come Sunday. NBA action tonight. The Pelicans actually host the Trailblazers, so you'll see Duop Reith in the Smoothie King Center if you're watching that game or going to that game. And with the Houston Rockets, Tari Eason remains out with a right oblique strain. Latest update on him heading into this game with the Clippers is they're still targeting a late December return for Eason, but definitely before the new year of 2026. So we'll continue to keep you posted there. That's Tigers in the Pros.
We're presented by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana, so you're never far from a Shawbills location. You can look them up online. You can schedule service online. You can shop tires online. You can see their deals online. Hey, look, Christmas is just about here. Maybe you're heading home, heading out of town, going to see family. You want to make sure your vehicle is in great shape to keep you safe, get you where you're going safely, on time, with no issues, and safe with your family as well. Of course, name brand tires at wholesale prices, and if you need an oil change, your tires rotated, check engine lights on, brakes squeaking, anything going on with your vehicle, you need to get it checked out, you can bring it to Shawbills. Any of their locations across South Louisiana where they're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they'll keep you coming back year after year after year because they are just awesome, and they'll treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. It's Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. The SEC schedule release is tonight, and so we often say that it's not just who you play, but it's when and where you play them. So tonight, we already know the who, right? We know the who LSU is going to play in the 9-game SEC schedule. They'll play 5 road conference games. We do know that Texas will come to Baton Rouge, Arkansas, and with Oklahoma rotating off, LSU, Arkansas. I think it's wink, wink, nod, nod, nudge, nudge. A safe assumption that LSU, Arkansas is going to go back to its that spot it had been traditionally to wrap up the regular season. If you hadn't figured that out by now, then I can't help you. Yes, that's a thing that's going to happen. A few things that are going to be fascinating. I do think, obviously, LSU's return to Oxford this year is going to be full tilt for all the reasons we know. And I do believe that's going to be a September matchup. I think, as I understand, November is going to be a bear for LSU. But it's going to be one of those things where you are going to be playing massive, games on the marquee every week in November. Bama expect to stay in November. I would not be surprised if the home game against Texas is in November. The road trip to Tennessee, as we mentioned, Arkansas. I think it's going to be a you better do your work in October and in September and October to make sure you get to November and leave yourself a little bit of cushion, because it's going to be a rough stretch to make through. But they can do it, so we'll see. And then, of course, Auburn, Kentucky, Mississippi State. We'll see where all those fall. Probably a good assumption that Auburn, Kentucky, October-type games would be a lot of fun. So we'll see tonight here in a couple hours what the SEC slate is for the entire conference. Again, not just who you play, but when and where you play them. When's the bye? You get new coaches, new quarterbacks early in the season. That's generally beneficial. So we'll see how it all goes. Of course, LSU will open up the season in Tiger Stadium, open up the Kiffin era in Tiger Stadium against Clemson. So Clemson, McNeese, and as we told you several months back, I'm expecting, unless something changes, that Louisiana Tech will come back to Tiger Stadium again this year. Again, that until the contract's finalized, done, and they announce it, it's not done. But I think that's something that was certainly in discussions earlier in the fall, so we'll see if that does manifest that way. All right, it's After Further Review. We're wrapping up hour number 2. We're brought to you by our friends at Decision Critical, title sponsor of our Thursday shows all throughout the year, and they're all throughout Louisiana and now in Dallas as well. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Okay, we'll knock out our final break. Sports Center is coming up. We'll kick off hour number 3. Houston head coach Willie Fritz joins us after Sports Center.
AFR.
We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. Hey, listen, right now, the end of the year, an amazing time to buy a vehicle. Look, the 2025's got to go to make room for the 2026s, which are already arriving. So it is an awesome time to go make a deal on a brand new 2025 Volkswagen. How about some of the great deals going on at Volkswagen Deal Days right now? Like, how about 2026 Tiguan for 4.9%? Like I said, some of the 2026s are already in. But then what about sign then drive? 0 down, 0 due at signing, no security deposit, no first month's payment. You sign your name with little else, you're driving away in a brand new vehicle from South Point Volkswagen while Sign Then Drive is going on. So take advantage of amazing deals. Get that new vehicle before the end of the year at South Point Volkswagen. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email LockeMeredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Off-field injury for T.J. Watt, Steelers star edge rusher, in a local hospital for further evaluation after experiencing discomfort during practice yesterday. Status for Monday Night Football against the Dolphins up in the air. Injury occurred while getting treatment at the team facility. He had 6 tackles and a TFL in the Steelers' win over the Ravens on Sunday. Elsewhere, Baltimore reached a 3-year extension agreement with defensive tackle Travis Jones to avoid a grievance about his free agent eligibility. Deal is worth $40.5 million, keeping him with the Ravens through 2028. Jones' 6 tackles for loss tied for Baltimore's team lead. Thursday Night Football, Buccaneers taking on the Falcons. Tampa wide receiver Mike Evans expected to make his return from the broken collarbone that he suffered back in Week 7. In baseball, the Braves are signing former Padres closer Robert Suarez to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Has a 2.87 ERA over the last 2 seasons.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. We're presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. And we are here today at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's office in Baton Rouge. Fired up. What a great day to be here for Gordon's bicycle giveaway, giving 600 bicycles away to children around the state of Louisiana. And we're just thrilled to be a little small part of it today, and happy to be here. And happy that bowl season is almost upon us. Tigers got their draw this past weekend. They'll head over to Houston to take on the Houston Cougars at NRG, a game that we're actually going to see to open the 2027 season. But the head man of the Cougs, former Tulane head coach Willie Fritz, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Coach, it's our pleasure. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's our pleasure. Let me ask just an easy one right over the plate as we start. Your reaction when you got the word that LSU would be the matchup for you guys in the bowl game?
Oh, I think it's exciting to play. It's a great program like LSU. I got some friends that are on the staff over there, and they're always so good to me when I was at Tulane. Used to hold joint camps, pick with them a lot. And, so, yeah, it'll be fun to see some of those guys, bowl setting prior to the game. Play quality opponent like those guys.
There's also some synergies as well. I think a lot of people remember your offensive coordinator, Slade Nagel, who was on staff at LSU, who was at Tulane and is now with you there. How's that transition gone with Slade as your OC this year?
Great. Slade's done a fantastic job. We struggled mightily our first year here offensively, and Slade's done a really good job organizing the staff and the players and figuring out pretty quick early in the season what we were good at, maybe what we weren't quite so good at, and he's really put a good offense together. So he's done a great job.
Well, you've also got a quarterback that people here are very familiar with, and Connor Wegman, who is at Texas A&M, of course, played against the Tigers a year ago at Kyle Field. I'm so curious, Coach, how, while you're at Houston, how aware Connor Wegman goes into the portal and you get him there. How aware are you of him during the season, or is that legwork done after the season to go sort of in that scouting department to look at who you may want to bring in, a guy like Connor?
Well, you wait until they get in the portal. That's what you're supposed to do,
sure.
Right? I think a lot of people do that. I had a little bit of a, inside track. I actually coached Connor's dad in college when I was at Sam Houston State many years. And then Sean Bell, our quarterback coach, really offered Connor's first Power 4 scholarship when he was at Baylor. And they had a real good relationship. Plus, he wanted to stay in Houston. He's a Houston kid. He wanted to stay here in the city. So it got worked out pretty quick.
What's been your impressions having him there and how he's assimilated? I mean, look, you're 9-3, and as you mentioned, a really nice improvement offensively this year for the Cougs. What have been your impressions of Connor having him this year?
Well, he's healthy. He got beat up pretty good A&M his last season. He was a little bit beat up when he first got to us. We kind of worked through that January, February, March, and then he did a great job in spring ball. Totally healthy now, and he's a dual threat quarterback. He probably runs better than most people think he's going to run. Got good speed, and he's able to hit it north south and get vertical. He's not one of those guys who's running east and west, not gaining anything. He's a very accurate passer. And, football is a complicated game. I'm always I enjoy sitting in there listening and watching him, and his understanding of football and concepts, and what we're doing schematically. He just he's kind of a football junkie. He's just gotten better and better as the season progressed.
2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, a nice season for your signal caller. I wanted to ask about one of the interesting things just about, Coach, this day and age in college football is in games like this, you're going to run across guys that maybe played at the school you were, whatever the case may be. You got a couple of former LSU guys, and Christian Braithwaite and Jordan Allen on your team. I'm sure there's a lot of fans here who remember those guys in the purple and gold. Let's love an update on how it's gone with those two on your roster.
Well, they've done a great job. They came in and jumped right into it. Jordan starts for us at safety. Had a really nice season for us. Christian's kind of battled some injuries this year, but he's healthy, and he'll be out in the field playing in some kicking games on the 27th when we play LSU.
Willie Fritz is with us, head coach of the Houston Cougars, getting ready for the Texas Bowl in Houston coming up on the 27th. As mentioned, Coach, there's always this debate as well just about the value of a bowl game and playing. And Frank Wilson, I know said it was never really a consideration not to play. Of course, they were going to play. Where do you fall on that right now, on the value of this for your program?
Well, I think it's real valuable for us. We're very excited about it. We had a tough year, my first year here at Houston, and I think everybody's goal is to play in a bowl game, and then after that it's CFP and, national championship, all those kind of things. But this is a big reward for us, turning it around this season and going 9-3 and coming close in a couple other games and in a tough conference, like the Big 12, where everybody's pretty good. It's one of those leagues where You know, every week you got to be ready to play. And in some other leagues where you might have had to, you know, bring your C game on, you still are able to win. But in this same thing in the SEC, you got to be ready to play every single week. And so, yeah, we're very, very pumped up and excited about this opportunity.
You'll have Frank Wilson on the opposite sideline. I would imagine Coach Frank is one of the ones that you know well from the times collaborating at LSU. Have you had a chance to talk to Coach Frank and maybe a thought on the job he's done?
No, I haven't. I haven't had a chance to visit with him, but I know Frank. Got a lot of respect for him. You know, Kevin Peoples coached for me at a few places. The outside edge defensive end coach there. Coach for me. I think I gave his first job at Glenn Junior College many, many years ago. And then he coached for me at a place called Central Missouri, and then Georgia Southern, and Tulane, and Alex Atkins also coached for me at Georgia Southern and Tulane. So then Jack Whitty was a graduate assistant for me. He's also, I think, an analyst, an assistant over there at LSU. So, yeah, I know quite a few of the guys.
Pretty wild, huh? Oh, those are some deep-rooted synergies. I guess you coach for a long time. You're going to cross paths with a whole bunch of guys. That's pretty incredible. Coach, just a couple more if I could before you go. I'd love to know. You had a great run at Tulane, and people here obviously who love to watch a Tulane to pull for you there. I'd love the thought just on watching Tulane make this run to the CFP this year.
Well, I'm really proud of them. It's a great deal for the university. You know, I still have a lot of really close friends on the staff there. You know, I'm excited for Will Hall. Will was one of my assistants at Tulane, and I think he's going to do a great job taking Coach Summerall's place. You know, so it's just neat to see, and you know, we got the backing of the city. You know, when we were there, I'll tell you one of the neat things is when we played in that Cotton Bowl. I got more emails from LSU people about how they were playing somebody and they're getting after them pretty good. I can't remember who it was. At the same time we were playing, and everybody kind of turned over to our game. And, you know, had a lot of support from them as well. So it's neat to see the success that Tulane's had. And, you know, I'll be rooting for them.
Yeah, we'll see if the Tigers and the Wave can tangle sometime on the field in the coming future, if that thing can be rekindled. They haven't played since 2009, so maybe at some point we'll see LSU and Tulane on the field again. But on the 27th window, we'll see the Tigers and the Cougs, something that we'll see as the season opener in Houston in 2027, but matter at hand coming up here in a few weeks. Willie Fritz. Coach, we appreciate you taking a few minutes away from your schedule to visit with us. Best of luck on the 27th and moving forward. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. Go Cougs.
It's our pleasure. That's Willie Fritz. That's interesting. I knew a lot of the synergies, like from his time at Tulane with Slade Nagel and with Alex Atkins, having been there. I didn't realize about Kevin Peoples and Coach Witt as well, who's a defensive analyst who works with Blake Baker. I mean, there's a lot. I guess it's true. I mean, you have a long career like Willie Fritz has had, and you are just going to cross paths with a lot of different people over the years. I mean, Coach Fritz is 65. You know, he mentioned Central Missouri. He was the head coach at Central Missouri from 97 to 2009. That was after being at Blinn, which is a junior college that most people are familiar. I'm pretty sure Cam Newton went to Blinn, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Cam Newton went to Blinn. So, I mean, it's obviously a really successful JUCO. But anyway, we appreciate Willie Fritz for taking a couple of minutes. It's after further review. Mike Triplett's going to join us here in about 15 minutes from right now or so. We always appreciate having Mike. I want to remind you about Supper Club. Man, it's Thursday. Night is falling. It's after 5, so Supper Club is open. You know, maybe you're thinking Thursday, holidays are nigh. Do you really want to go home right now? No, you don't. No, you don't want to go home. You want to go to Supper Club. Like right now is where you want to go. You want to detour right now and go to Supper Club on Perkins Road. I mean, an absolutely exquisite dining experience. But one of the other reasons, maybe just to pop in like right now, is the decor. They did an absolutely marvelous job decorating the restaurant. It is Instagram approved. It's Instagrammable. Let's put it to you that way, with the decor, the holiday decor that they did over at Supper Club. So get on by, even if it's just to pop in, to sit at the bar, have a glass of wine, cocktail, take a few photos. It is so worth doing. Man, have dinner at Supper Club tonight, any night. Well, not Sunday or Monday because they're closed, but Tuesday through Saturday, supperclubbtr.com. It's where you can go to get your reservations, supperclubbtr.com. Got friends or family coming in from out of town for the Christmas holiday. Make sure you take them to Supper Club. Dining, incredible dining experience. Great way to celebrate anything, holidays, anniversaries, birthdays, milestones, or just any day. supperclubbtr.com. All right, y'all, it is AFR. We're glad to have you aboard with us. Earlier today, LSU did announce with Nike a really cool NIL initiative. Tomorrow, LSU's Chief Revenue Officer, Clay Harris, is going to be with us to dig a little deeper into that. And so a conversation I've been wanting to have with Clay for a while now. Clay was with us in the spring when LSU announced the NILSU Max program. And I've wanted to do a follow-up since, especially after Lane Kiffin was hired, and Lane was very outspoken about the importance of the NIL plan that LSU put together. And obviously Clay's a big part of that. So Clay's going to be with us tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Terry will be here on a Friday edition of AFR as well. So that's on tomorrow's show. I got a quick break. We'll continue again. Mike Triplett will talk some Saints with us in about 15 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
Hey, I want to remind you about Duplessis Builders. It's not too late if you still want to give your family the most incredible gift ever. Like, what if you put in a pool? Now, they're not going to be able to dig and have your pool done by Christmas, but a big part of that is if you start on December 11th, they're not going to be done in 14 days with your pool, because at Duplessis Builders, they take the time to do it right. And that's one of the reasons why Derek Duplessis and Duplessis Builders are able to offer a 10-year workmanship warranty on their pools, because they're never going to move to the next phase of the build until that phase is done properly, up to engineering standards, because Derek by trade is a mechanical engineer. By the way, with a minor in aerospace engineering, NBD, he could either build a spaceship or your pool. It's Duplessis Builders. Check them out online at duplessisbuilders.net. Pools, outdoor kitchens, they do it all. duplessisbuilders.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Shough, and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Rolling along, and glad you are hanging out with us here on a beautiful Thursday here in the capital city or wherever you may be. Thanks so much. I know many of you listen online, you watch on YouTube, on WBTR. Thank you for being with us. For our great affiliates in Alexandria, Lafayette, Lake Charles, just sincere appreciation to everybody who spend time with us every day here as we get you home, or whatever and wherever you may be listening or watching. We just appreciate you for being with us here. Mike Triplett in about a dozen minutes from right now. We'll talk some Saints-Panthers with Mike as we do every Thursday. I want to update you on two things. I said throughout this Lane Kiffin process, I don't cover Ole Miss, but I feel like throughout this process I have. And there's a couple of things out of Oxford today that I think are they are potentially very relevant to LSU in the immediate short term and the long term. One is a conversation that we've been having since Lane Kiffin was hired, and it's about if LSU is going to retain Frank Wilson or not. So we've had the conversation a bunch. I don't only give you the big, long explanation, but the Cliff's Notes is Lane Kiffin has a running back coach named Kevin Smith, who's been with him for 9 years, 3 years at FAU, the last 6 at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin wants Kevin Smith to be his running backs coach at LSU. Well, Kevin Smith didn't get on the plane. He stayed at Ole Miss. His family came to Baton Rouge the Monday of Lane Kiffin's press conference. I was told a lot of that was moving in the direction like Kevin Smith was going to come to LSU. Early in this week, it felt like that started to shift, and we may now know why. Michael Katz, who covers Ole Miss for the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal, has put out on social media copies of the term sheets that several Ole Miss coaches have signed, according to Michael Katz. He's got the term sheet for Pete Golding and a handful of assistants, including John David Baker, Jake Schoonover, special teams coach who stayed, Brian Brown, Matt Kitchens, Jay Shough, John Garrison, the offensive line coach who LSU wanted to hire, who stayed, Randall Joyner, Joe Judge, Wes Neighbors, and Kevin Smith. So Michael Katz is saying that these are signed term sheets. And by the way, we've talked often about how these MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding, the MOUs are non-binding, except you can write legally binding language. I've learned a lot about. I'm in an attorney's office today, but I am not an attorney. But I've learned a lot about this throughout this process. You can include binding language in an MOU, and it states very clearly at the top of this MOU, big bold letters, all caps, binding memorandum of understanding between the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss Athletics Foundation, and Pete Golding. So it is the term sheet for Pete Golding, which is basically a contract through December of 2030, where his contract will start this year at $6.8 and escalate to $7.2 million per year. That's relevant because what Michael Katz is suggesting here is that not only does Pete Golding have a binding MOU, but all the assistants I mentioned, including Kevin Smith. That, of course, is relevant because Kevin Smith is the running backs coach that Lane Kiffin wants to hire. And if Kevin Smith comes to Baton Rouge instead of staying at Ole Miss, there is no spot for Frank Wilson on staff. You get where I'm going. If Kevin Smith has signed this binding MOU with an intent to sign a contract at Ole Miss and stay with the Rebels, then LSU needs a running backs coach, in which case Frank Wilson can stay. I do not know. I am very clear, I am not reporting anything. I'm going to be very clear. I am merely connecting dots very logically, okay? I am looking at cause and effect. And this would stand to reason, it makes a lot of sense, that if it were to play out this way, that Frank Wilson would be back. You just get the cut from Frank Wilson on his Zoom on Tuesday when he was asked about his future. Because up until this point, you can similarly draw some very logical conclusions, where Lane Kiffin wanted Kevin Smith to be the coach, the running backs coach. LSU is very, very aggressively pushed for Blake Baker to be retained, in fact, increasing his salary to $3 million a year, announcing retention of the staff, including Corey Raymond and Jake Olson and Kevin Peoples. Like, the fact that and he's hired his offensive staff, the ones that he brought, and then brought in an offensive line coach and Eric Wolford. Anyway, all that to say, the fact that you have not had resolution on Frank Wilson, like if they wanted eagerly to keep Frank Wilson, that could have been done. The fact that it hasn't been done to this point kind of would tell you the story. And when Frank met with reporters via Zoom earlier this week to preview the bowl game, he was asked about his future, and this is what Frank said.
No, we've had conversations, and for me and for Coach Kiff, it's let's play this game on the 27th, and we'll go into those details later. We just want to finish what we've started with this football team, with the team of 2025, give them our undivided attention before transition happens. And so until then, nothing will necessarily happen in that regard. There'll be opportunity there. Where that lies, I'm not sure, but the priority is our current football team.
Okay, that's not the kind of answer that instills a ton of confidence that he expects to be back. Well, you fast forward 48 hours or so, and we learn that Kevin Smith has signed a binding MOU to return to Ole Miss. Maybe this is looking better, which would be incredible, because this is where I will give you my opinion, which is I want Frank. I will put this in giant lights on the top of this building. I'll get Gordon to buy a big Frank Wilson inflatable. We'll put it on I-10. I don't know. He might actually do that. But anyway, I want Frank Wilson to be back for all the reasons we've talked about forever. You have to recruit New Orleans. You have to put a fence around New Orleans. You have to have someone with ties to the New Orleans area. There is nobody better than Frank Wilson. Yes, LSU has won championships without Frank Wilson on staff. But is there anyone better to recruit New Orleans to be that conduit than Frank Wilson? No. The players love him. The recruits love him. He's got relationships. There's nobody better. I want him on staff. I also understand that Lane Kiffin's the head coach. He has autonomy to hire a staff, and he should. But if the guy he wants chooses to stay in Oxford, then there should be no other choice to be the running backs coach than Frank Wilson. Like, that should be done tomorrow. If Kevin Smith is staying at Ole Miss, then Frank Wilson staying at LSU should already be done and announced. And I hope it is soon. All right, it's after further review. The one other tidbit, and this is not nearly as credible, so I hesitate to even bring this up, because who I just referenced in Michael Katz, he is a credentialed member of the media. He's an AP and Heisman voter. He writes for a credible outlet, and he actually has a photo that he shared of the MOU we're discussing. Like, that is credible. This, I don't know if it is, but it's a story worth watching. This is on Twitter from the Twitter is Ole Miss Sports. However, it is not an officially affiliated link. It's I don't even know what they do. So again, I hesitate very, very much to share this, because it's an account with 20,000 followers. It looks like it's just a fan account. I do not have any idea whatsoever if this is credible, but it's suggesting that there might be a lawsuit that would not allow Ole Miss players to transfer to LSU because of tampering. Now, apparently this happened with Lane Kiffin in Mississippi State with a couple of players that they note. I've tried to ask a few people. Again, I hesitate to even bring this up because there's nothing credible here to suggest that this is valid. But this is also something that's not unprecedented, where you have had schools file tampering lawsuits to prevent players from transferring. That is not uncommon. And this is a weird, messy thing where Lane Kiffin left, some of the LSU coaches have gone back, and it stands to reason that you're going to have Ole Miss players enter the portal. There's players from every program that enter the portal, and some are going to want to come to LSU. I believe, totally speculative, if Ole Miss did try to file a lawsuit to prevent any kid from going to the portal to sign with LSU, it feels like LSU could just file a countersuit immediately and would win, because the NCAA isn't stopping anyone from doing anything right now, including players transferring. And it always happens that when a coach transfers, players from his current school follow that coach to wherever the new school is. So it would stand to reason, just like when Brian Kelly took the LSU job, Logan Diggs, Jay Bramblett. Remember this? Like, you had players from Notre Dame come to LSU. That's just what happens everywhere. So I would assume, yes, there will be players from Ole Miss that enter the portal to come to LSU. And I don't know that there's a legal action that'll stop it, but it's something worth watching as we move forward. All right, it is After Further Review. We are glad to have you aboard with us here, hanging out. We are brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know at Parrish Construction and Roofing. That's me and Terrio and Tilly and Joe and our whole team over there. We'd love to help you out. Repairs, replacements, all the weather, the rain this past weekend. If you had leaks, roof damage, think you might, we'd love to help you out with a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. We do soft washes as well. We can come clean all the algae, the mildew off your roof. It'll extend the life of your shingles. It'll beautify your home. We can soft wash the exterior of your home, all the hardscape around your home or office building. We'd love to help you out. Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com. Okay, let's not get a break. We'll come back, and Mike Triplet will be here. We'll talk some Saints. Stick around. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Love telling you about our friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. That's yourgoodwood.com. I was having this conversation actually earlier today with a buddy who had had knee surgery and tore his ACL, MCL, meniscus, had knee surgery, and still has a lot of pain, like walking up and down stairs. And I brought up BPC 157, the peptide I've told you before. I was like, you should try this. I'm not telling you that it's going to totally heal you and be miraculous, but it might. It's done wonders for my back. But even if you just do one cycle, an 8-week cycle of taking BPC 157 daily, a small injection around the area of the surgery, and see if in 8 weeks it doesn't help you feel, what do you have to lose in one cycle? Maybe it is miraculous for you, like it has been for me. Learn, if nothing else, you owe it to yourself to learn more. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Yourgoodwood.com. It's yourgoodwood.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, ironworkers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit Louisiana.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplet of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
We roll along on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical, live from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney's office for the 600 bike giveaway today. Bringing some holiday cheer to less fortunate kiddos, which is an awesome reason to be here. Always great to talk to Mike Triplet, New Orleans Football. Mike, how are you, man?
Doing good. How are you?
I mean, the Saints got a franchise quarterback that's going to be in the Hall of Fame in about 15 years, right? Feel awesome.
Well, no, 20 years because he's going to play for 15 and then get in 5 years.
See, I think you're not taking into account the fact that he's 26.
He's going to play until he's 44 because we got Phillip Rivers setting that precedent. So that's 18 years, so 23 years. 23.
Man, does he take the 5-year break in between?
Oh, and then come back to bail out the Saints when they haven't found his replacement. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're always thinking next level.
That's why they pay me the moderate bucks and to sit in the chair. Hey, no, but for real though, Shuck, like the stats were not good, but he had it's fair to say, like he was good though, right?
Yes, he was, and it is funny that if you just read the box score, that doesn't stand out. I mean, part of it is you had to be watching the game and realize the conditions of the rain and the wind and the sloppy weather. I mean, Baker Mayfield, his numbers look equally bad. It was hard to throw, and it was just sort of the clutchness of it. It was the 2 rushing touchdowns, especially the one where he escaped the sack and turned it into a touchdown. It was the 3rd and 8 conversion, 3rd and 8 conversion, 3rd and 5 conversion, 3rd and 6 conversion. We hadn't seen that in years from a Saints quarterback. That's what had been missing from this offense, and it's sort of the biggest delineator between him and Spencer Rattler. And it was things we even said about like Andy Dalton and Trevor Siemian when they were playing well, but then the team would get behind or it would be 3rd and long and it was over. So I think what's so promising about him is 3rd and 8 isn't dead. Almost being sacked isn't dead. Scrambling and escaping the pocket isn't dead, and I think that's why everybody's kind of captivated by what they're seeing.
Great way to put it. Is there anybody else offensively that you're looking at going, I kind of like that too?
Well, I mean, you have to like what you've seen from Devon Vele the last 2 weeks, going from, man, did they just completely waste a draft pick on a non-factor to, oh, man, he's the guy who's catching those 3rd and 8s and those 3rd and 5s, and that is kind of what we were sold on he was supposed to look like. And, you know, I don't think he's ever going to turn into Marcus Colston or anything like that. But, you know, if he's catching 4 or 5 passes a game and he's a guy that you can go to on 3rd downs, that makes him worth a 4th-round pick. And then Devin Neal, again, my expectations are still tempered. But when you lose Kendry Miller and you lose Alvin Kamara, and then the rookie 6th-round pick can handle the volume he's handling as a pass protector, a pass catcher. He had one of those 3rd and 8 conversions. He had 19 carries. So, you know, it's good to see those guys. We're not talking world beaters here or whatever, but we're looking for any positive signs of encouragement.
Is there any realistic belief that we might see Alvin Kamara this weekend?
No, I don't think so. Not this weekend. We haven't seen him out of practice yet. He's not going to just show up and play. If you said this season, maybe, because they didn't put him on IR, but the clock's ticking now.
Yeah. What about I would assume Justin Reed and Taliesin Fuaga will play against Carolina. They were both out of practice today?
Fuaga, almost for sure. He's been out at practice for everything we've seen all week, starting Wednesday. Reed, more of a maybe. On Wednesday, he was wearing kind of a T-shirt, working off to the side, and then today he returned to practice on a limited basis. So TBD, but definitely possible, and obviously tracking to come back soon.
Then let's go through the impact of those guys. If there's no Kamara, and then assuming Fuaga is back, and then the question mark on Reed.
Well, Fuaga is a huge impact, I think. Now, I'd like to see Fuaga get fully healthy. I think some of his uglier games on tape have been when he's been fighting through an injury and then ends up missing the next game because, clearly he was fighting through something. So I don't want to see him keep fighting it at 75%, but I think the drop-off from healthy Taliesin Fuaga to the backups that they've had out there has been a big problem for them this year. So I think he makes a big difference as both a pass protector and a run blocker. Justin Reed, I think, obviously makes a difference. He's one of the most talented players on the team. They do have a little more depth at safety. Not only has Jonas Senker had a good season, but, veteran backups like Terrell Burgess and Jordan Howden have been playing well, too. So it doesn't feel like the drop-off is as much, but obviously it helps to have one of your best players back.
Mike Triplett's with us at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Our chats are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com. Make sure, great gift. Get your gift card, $50 gift card, and you get a free month of the Unlimited Club, Benny'sCarWash.com. Mike, you and I have talked a lot this year about guys on the defense, some of the young guys on the defensive side that we're kind of hoping to see maybe progress. You just mentioned Jonas Senker as one of them. If you've been paying attention any more at the linebackers and some of the young guys at the second level?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as I just said with Devin Neal. Like, I'm not going to get overly excited about Danny Stutzman and Isaiah Stalbert, but I love seeing rookies and second-year guys contribute, and I love their sort of attitude and their philosophy toward putting them in the games and like making sure they get their 15, 20 snaps a game because, they're developing them for the future and getting them involved instead of just making them wait their turn. I just love that that's sort of been their outlook. It feels like Danny Stutzman makes 3 plays a game every single game. I've really been interested in what I've seen from him and Stalbert on third downs, getting those sacks and making plays like that. So I like that. I don't think we're looking at like future Pro Bowlers or anything, but that's obviously encouraging. And yeah, same thing on the back end. Jonas Senker, Quincy Riley, they're getting these guys involved, and I think there'll be depth pieces. You need more stars on this team. Yeah. There's no question at every level of the team, but the depth helps too.
Mike, I'm not trying to force Demario Davis out. He's at 118 tackles. I mean, by the way, the next closest is Pete Werner at 69. I mean, Demario Davis is still defying time in an incredible way. I just keep looking at it going, as much as I love this man and the way he plays football, eventually it's going to stop, and they have to have a plan for it. So that's why I keep asking about the linebackers to see how that may look. What about Charlie Smith?
Yeah, I mean, he exceeded my expectations by drilling that 56-yarder after they iced him for 3 hours before he finally got a chance to kick. But then obviously the miss came. It was a clean miss. It was, right on the line, just a little left of the pole. I have a feeling Charlie Smith will be like, I don't know, 18 of the 20 kickers we've seen since we used to go through the Sean Payton kicker carousel where they make, 78% of their kicks. I don't know that we're going to find a phenom in him. And sometimes, sometimes you just got to live with it. 8 out of the 10 kicks are going to go through. But he's such a cool story. I hope he can, stay mentally stable through the highs and lows and not let it get in his head. And I think he can. I've been so impressed by how far he's come so far.
Mike, how different is Carolina this matchup than the one we saw at the beginning of November?
Man, I'm glad that nobody is paying me to have astute Carolina Panthers analysis. I did not think they were that good going into this year. Every once in a while, I caught a glimpse of them and didn't think they were that good. And then we saw the Saints in Carolina, and I thought, oh, they're the worst team in the NFL. And then every time I'm not watching them, they're beating the Packers or the Eagles or the Rams. Or the Rams. Yeah, like I have no idea what to make of this team. And I have a feeling they're probably a little which team is going to show up. I know during some of those wins, they were relying heavily on the run game. And it was when Rico Dowdle was getting 200-yard games and the two-headed monster of Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. And when the Saints beat them, they said, no, you are not going to run against us. We are stopping the run. What else you got? And they had nothing else. And I thought, man, Bryce Young still doesn't have it. Then I see Bryce Young threw for 400 yards last game. So I have a feeling the game plan is the same, though. You force Bryce Young to beat you, and he needs to show up.
If you had to pick it, Mike, with 4 games to go and 4 very winnable games, Carolina, the Jets, the Titans, and the Falcons, but also because the Saints aren't very good, they're 4 very losable games. What do you think happens here at 3 and 10? What do they do in these next 4?
Yeah, I mean, I said if I was Vegas, I'd probably set the line at 1.5. But if I had to guess a record, I think 2-2 is realistic. I think the last 4 games for all of these teams, except Carolina, who's obviously tied for the NFC South lead, those last 3 games are going to be about how bad do you want it, or has your mind already drifted toward where you're going on vacation in January? And I feel like the Jets sold all their part. I'm surprised the Jets have fought as much as they have already. They sold Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams at the trade deadline, lost their quarterback, lost their star receiver. That feels like a game the Saints would win at home if they really want to win, and they're trying. The Titans, I think, are the opposite. I think the Titans are going to try to win as many games as they can to try to enter next year on a high note. And Atlanta could be a team that is just like, woe is us at the end of the year. So those are the 2 that I feel bad. But, yeah, I mean, I would not bet a single dollar on any of these games. I think they're all toss-up.
It's going to be fascinating to watch how it unfolds. We'll be there. You can read about it over at neworleans.football. Find all the content there as well, neworleans.football. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. Our chats every Thursday are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. Make sure you get Benny's Car Wash gift cards this holiday season. They're awesome stocking stuffer, bennyscarwash.com. Mike, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, man. Be well. We'll talk again next week. It is After Further Review. It's been a really good show. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. I want to give you a quick reminder about our friends at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Game watch. Get all your food at Rouse's. Got a Christmas party, holiday party coming up? Get everything you need at Rouse's. You need to go pick up something to bring to the party. Sandwich tray, fruit tray, vegetable tray. The mini muffalettas, the chicken wings, the ribs. Maybe you got to bring a dessert, cookies, pedophores, maybe that pie or cake. They got it all for you at the bakery. And if you're making groceries, man, just go to Rouse's. I mean, you can even let them go shop for you. Pull up the app, pick out your items. Your personal shopper will pick them up, pick it out for you. You pull into a spot, boom, they'll bring it out to your car. You don't even get out. It's easy. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Download the Rouse's app. Rouse's, this feels like home. All right, y'all, we are we've got 1 segment to go. Big thanks. Man, we were loaded up today. Big thanks to Louis Riddick, who was here in hour 1 from ESPN. Louis Riddick, if you don't remember, was maybe the most bullish on Tyler Shuck pre-draft. And came on and we had a great conversation with Louis Riddick. That was in hour 1. Gordon McKernan sat with us here for a couple segments. Talked Lane Kiffin, talked NIL. If you missed that convo, you'll want to check it out. Willie Fritz was here earlier this hour, head coach of the Houston Cougars. And then you just heard Mike Triplett. You missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Golf. Of course, you can get it on podcast or YouTube. Well, I got a final break. One thing left to do. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. Stick around. We'll wrap up AFR next.
AFR.
If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Visit firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. First South Farm Credit. Nearing the end of the year, who knows? Maybe you can sneak it in before the deadline. If you're thinking of buying land, great opportunity to do so. Maybe you're thinking before the end of the year. Your CPA might recommend land as a great investment. Of course, you're going to incur expenses when you buy land. So First South Farm Credit is an awesome place to call to get in touch with a local lender. If you're thinking of buying land, you want to talk to someone who lives where you live, works where you work, well, that's First South Farm Credit. And remember, the patronage refund, which I love telling you about every year, this past year, they paid out $25.5 million back to their borrowers, which effectively reduces the cost of borrowing by about a full %. So you can always learn more at firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on this Thursday edition of AFR. As always, we love to thank Blasia and the great team over at Decision Critical. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. It doesn't matter if maybe you're bringing home a newborn and you need to sleep at night. You can let their expertly trained nurses take care of your baby while you sleep. Maybe it's end-of-life care. Maybe you've gotten a difficult diagnosis. Maybe you're post-operative and you need to carry out your physician's orders in-home and you need in-home nursing care, hospice care. They can do it all. I told you that we had Decision Critical's nurses come to do a blood draw and Drew in our home. Therapeutic phlebotomy, IV hydration. They can do everything conveniently at your home, your office. Look them up at decisioncriticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. Okay, one thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, how are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So we stuck our little toe in the water with the NBA, and then they take the tournament out. Now we don't know who's playing tonight. So we did get a couple of winners last night. That was good. And then, of course, our college game lost. But 2 out of 3. Let's go to Thursday night football, Matt, in
Mike Evans is back. It's the first game he's been back since his hamstring injury. I like that. Baker Mayfield's been struggling a little bit. He's hurt. I mean, he was the leader at one point for the MVP early in the year. They were kind of the hot story, but he's been hurt. I just keep fighting with one thing, and this is a divisional game at 5.5 points, and that's just too many points for me. So we're going to go with the Dirty Birds, the Falcons, and the 5.5 in the football game. One college basketball game tonight, and that is Iowa and Iowa State. Actually, the women played the Iowa State last night. The men played tonight. We know that Ames is brutally tough for visitors. That's one of the biggest home court advantages that you wouldn't really think of because Iowa State had decent teams, good teams, but not like some of the heavyweights, and they've been unbelievable at home. But this line is just, and most of the bettors know that as well, this line is in double digits. Iowa's pretty good. I mean, Michigan State has a top 5 resume right now. They were only favored by 5 points earlier this year, about a week ago, against Iowa. We're going to take the Hawkeyes on the road in the points, double digits tonight at Iowa State. All right, Atlanta, the Falcons with the points, and then the Iowa Hawkeyes catching 11.5 tonight. All right, Otter, with no more Football Friday, or are we still doing Football Friday because of the NFL? Well, you can, if you hear the music in the background, I had to make sure everything was right. I'm at Rufino's right now, just making sure everything's right for tomorrow. Come by on your way home, man. It's festive over here with all the lights. And the last Friday before Christmas, so we'll be over here tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for Live at Lunch with Otter and Handy. All right, Otter, we appreciate it, man. Have a great night. All right. Good luck. Thanks, man. Same to you. All right, so the Otters got the Falcons and the points and the Iowa Hawkeyes on the hardwood. We got a little bit of a rough go on the hardwood, on the college hardwood. A couple of years ago, man, Jimmy was in fuego, but hopefully catch a stride there on the hardwood pretty soon. We got so the Falcons and Iowa tonight. All right, y'all, just about going to wrap up here. Again, man, big shout out to Gordon McKernan and the whole team over here. It's just such an amazing thing that they do. Gordon gives away 600 bicycles to children across our state. So they have, throughout the month of December, as we get closer to Christmas, they have the bike giveaway day at a lot of the different offices around the state, right? So today was the giveaway day here at the main office right off I-10 in Baton Rouge. And so we were happy to come and shine a light on the good deeds being done here and hopefully help spread a little Christmas cheer at all the kiddos that picked up a bike and maybe to everyone who's around and getting ready for the holidays and maybe inspired to do good for others during this time of year where a lot of people can use some uplifting and certainly prayer. So we appreciate Gordon and his team for having us, and we appreciate that partnership and all of you for listening, watching, wherever you may be. So thank you sincerely for that. All right, just about going to do it for us here as we get down the road. Tomorrow, we are at Marucci, again, the Hitter's House. Y'all, we getting close to Christmas. You need some gifts. Come see us tomorrow, Marucci's Hitter's House. Alondra, unfortunately, has to hang out with me again tomorrow. But we appreciate the work she does. Hey, thumbs down. That ain't cool. Muse, Paulie back in studio. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we do get on down the road, let me remind you about the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. Y'all, we are actually now getting down to the nitty-gritty, okay? If it's December the 11th, it's not too late to get your LASIK done before the end of the year. So if you have HSA, FSA funds, you can still do it. Like, you can still get it scheduled. You can have your consultation, get it scheduled, and get in there for a surgery day before the end of the year. But chop, chop. Like, we got to get moving now. If it's something you want to put off to 2026, that's cool. But remember also, you can give LASIK as a gift. A lot of families do this. They'll go in together and give LASIK as a gift to a family member, and the Williamson Eye Center can package it. They can do like a gift certificate package up for you so you have something physical to give. But it's time to get rolling, y'all. Christmas is 2 weeks away. It's the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.